Introducing your trusted source for high-quality Black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe Black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of Black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing Black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
Nigga, that's the court. You know what I'm saying? You see that they tearing the shit down though, man. I remember back in the day, everybody used to be out here joking and shit, man. It's your boy, young fella, man. You know what I'm saying? Tearing our shit down, nigga. Though 60638 to the world blow though, you understand?
On this road from a boy to a man with no one to hold my hand, shit, I'm just praying that I make it home safe. You never know what to expect when living life up in the jacks. One wrong step could be the reason you don't make it home safe. Gang writings on the walls, niggas running from the laws, but through it all, we just really trying to make it home safe. Navigating the obstacles of the streets can be one hell of a feat. Think it's sweet, you might not make it home safe. A bunch of children of the ghetto, unaware of the shit that awaited us all. Staring at the letter CVL spray painted on walls. Was just a tender boy, son of a single mother, expecting a baby girl. Now yet subjected to this crazy world. And at this time I'm thinking life was all Saturday morning cartoons and action figures, not knowing that as I get bigger that shit'll get dark soon. Them cap guns turned to broke revolvers with bodies on them. Some rebel, some took to the streets cause ain't nobody want them. I went from mama's boy to child of the streets, a child of deceit. I was young and running wild in the streets, hanging with folks them, but I wouldn't plug. They just accepted me, gave me some lit, told me fear no Vic, that was the recipe. Can't run the streets if you know you got poor endurance. Stay on point cause proper preparation prevents poor performance. Had to look, listen, and learn to peep the underhanded. Barely surviving, striving for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Hit the county couple times, felt like I was stuck in time. Family looking at me.
That's why we shine wherever we go. 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 Lord, Lord. Welcome to the mind of a pothead. On my head, see a young nigga got dressed. We don't give a fuck what the cop said. I'm living a legacy, so even when I die, I am not dead. Nigga, I am not dead. Fuck with me.
Great afternoon to you wonderful people. Welcome to this Friday edition of I Said What I Said. We are live from the What's In It for the Black People Media Studios alongside Tucson. My name is Herb Howard. Each and every weekday, 3 to 6 p.m., we get together right here with you all and we discuss issues that are impacting the Black community, how those issues impact us as individuals, and how they impact us as a collective. And along with your help, we talk through many of these issues in hopes of finding the optimum solutions for overcoming said issues. Again, overcome them as individuals, but more importantly, overcome them as a collective. Thank y'all so very, very much for choosing to be a part of the conversation.
As always, your input is valued. It is certainly appreciated. Anything you want to add to the conversation, don't worry about him, Ryan. He's just trying to hook up his headphones. He's fine, man. But, everything pisses him off. He's that angry uncle, man. Don't worry about it. He'll be all right, man. Your input is valued. It is appreciated. Anything you want to add to the conversation, feel free to do so. We will read through as many of your comments as possible while we go through the show. So please, please, please feel free to add your input to this Relationship Friday discussion. We would kindly ask you, please, please, please take a quick second to share the broadcast. Share it on your personal page. Share it even within your personal network. Anyone that you think would add value to this conversation or find value in this conversation, we welcome them to be a part of the discussion. It is our sincere belief that the more like-minded individuals we can get to be a part of this discussion, the better the opportunities we have of finding those aforementioned optimum solutions. So please, please, please take a quick second to share the broadcast. Again, as I said what I said, it is intellectual thuggery at its absolute finest. My name is Herb Howard. His name is Tucson Warner, too. What's happening, good brother?
What down, famo? I'm blessed and highly favored. How you?
Man, ain't nothing to it. I was feeling good until I walked in the studio. It's hot as hell in here, G.
It is hot as
It's
hell.
unbelievable. Like, we work around a bunch of anemic individuals, and you walk in here, and it's just like, y'all tweaking right now, fam. I walk in here, the heat is blaring, right? They got the heat on like 82 degrees. Lil Ron in there, anemic. Maze around here somewhere, anemic. Don somewhere around here, anemic coded. Don got a radiator in this damn studio. These lights is blaring in my face. They caused it to be 100 degrees in here anyway. Plus it's a radiator, plus the heat is going on. I don't know what y'all be doing in here from 6 to 3.
It's cold outside.
By 2
Nigga,
o'clock.
you got on the goddamn plastic bag windbreaker. Put a coat on.
By 2 o'clock, cut the damn heat off. Y'all can be warm in this mug from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. At 2 o'clock, cut the heat off. I'm not going to be coming in here sweating because y'all asses in here with minimal blood flowing through y'all body. What the hell is wrong with y'all in here, man? It's ridiculous in this joint. I don't like to take my jacket off until the second hour. It's freaking hot. Got pissed real quick for no reason.
Hey, man, real quick, man, we want to send a rest in peace to Hank Aaron.
Yeah, man.
Also,
Hammer and Hank.
yeah, and also, I didn't think about it yesterday, man. I want to send some prayers up to my Uncle Gerald, who's suffering cancer, and he got sent to hospice last night, man.
Oh, man.
So, just wanted to send some love to my Uncle G and my cousin Sid, man. I love y'all.
Send some love, send some peace their way. Let them find peace in the situation, peace in the moment. May he find comfort in whatever time is remaining, man. So definitely prayers up and positive vibes to the fam as well. But absolutely, man. Rest in peace to Hammer and Hank Aaron. Hank Aaron was the Baseball Hall of Famer. He broke the long-standing home run record of one Roger Maris for a single season. And when he broke it, I mean, it's still America. I was going to say race relations were very, very tense then, but they're very, very tense now. But it was a really, really big thing to have a black dude in pursuit of eclipsing such an iconic record. And, he received a lot of death threats. There was a lot of, nigga, you better not break the record type shit going on. And in the face of all of that, while he was playing.
Nigga, don't be great.
Right. In the face of all that, while he was playing for the Braves in Atlanta and Georgia, he showed up and he played every single day, and he broke that record. So, job well done to Hank Aaron. Race well run. Rest in peace to that brother. While we talking about baseball, man, and we back cleanup for a baseball analogy. We back cleanup for the bigs on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, man, and it's an absolute honor and a pleasure, bro. Major League Baseball, on MLB.com, they released their top 50 nicknames in baseball.
Top 50 greatest nicknames of all time.
Top 50 greatest nicknames in baseball. And the number one nickname in baseball was given to Javier Baez, the shortstop for the Chicago Cubs. Phenomenal shortstop for the Chicago Cubs. His nickname is El Mago, the magician, in Spanish, El Mago. And that nickname was coined and given to him by none other than the Bigs.
The Bigs.
Man. Shout out to Eugene McIntyre.
salute
Shout
to
out
Jane
to
and T,
Terrence
man.
Tomlin, man. The number one nickname in baseball, 50 greatest nicknames, and the number one name was coined by our very own, the brothers, the Bigs, man. Shout out to them. That is absolutely huge, man. And you can go to MLB.com and see the list. MLB gives them their credit. It says that, El Mago is the greatest baseball nickname. It was given to them by the bigs.
Yeah, that's dope as hell.
Given to him by the bigs.
That's dope as hell, man. Gene and T be making waves.
That's fire, G. So like every year, a few games a year, they do the nickname games or whatever. And he always say El Mago on the back of his jersey. Like, he loves the El Mago shit. Everybody loves the El Mago shit. You watch the Cubs games, every time he makes a spectacular play, which for him seems to be routine, they're like, El Mago does it again, the magician again. Like, and so for the bigs to give him the nickname that is an international nickname, now that's super, super fire. I'm always bigging them up and they deserve it, but that's crazy fire, man.
Reminds me of the conversation we was having with Scoop.
Yeah.
Right? You ain't got to wait on nobody, man. Seize the day.
Right now.
And that's real shit.
Carpe that DM.
Carpe diem. Yes, sir. So even when I, look at what the kind of interviews Gene and TV having, man, my favorite of all time, of course, is Pooh. They got a bunch of conversations.
The great Pooh Dini.
Yeah, they got a, and for those of you who aren't basketball fans, Pooh is D Rose.
Right.
And
or if you are a basketball fan, but maybe not from the crib.
Yeah, that's true too.
Pooh is D Rose.
That's real too. But they got a lot of footage that nobody's ever seen. You know what I mean? And it's enough footage there to put together another documentary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we was talking about that one time when they released the D-Rose documentary.
Yeah.
Like, there needs to be another conversation from a different perspective. Because if you remember correctly, the D-Rose documentary, when it came out, there was a lot of talk around, at least in the film itself, there was a large portion of that film talking about how the Chicago fans, it was like split down the middle. Like, it was kind of, the west side, not the west side, but the north side per se. Let's say the white population in Chicago kind of abandoned Pooh. But then when you talk to the black people of Chicago, they was kind of riding with Pooh even through the injuries or whatever, man. I just think that's a whole nother conversation that needs to take place. One around race relations that has, shut up and dribble, just be an athlete kind of conversation.
Right.
And Gene and T really do have that kind of footage, man. And, they got that Beasley connection, so it's a relatable conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, they the guys. They from the soil, you know what I mean?
For real.
And so they from the soil, and that's what make the title of their show dope. They literally from the soil, and so they can deliver it differently, you know what I mean? And so as much as they tied in on this international, on this national scale in terms of sports journalism, they can hit it in a way that very few people in that atmosphere can approach this thing because they actually from it. And so, when a Derrick Rose is talking to them, he understands that I'm talking to myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to one of me. You know what I mean?
Guys.
I'm talking to the guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
real.
so there's a different conversation that is allowed to be there. I don't care if you Mike Greenberg or whoever the hell you want to be. You can't have a conversation with Pooh the same way that the Bears can have it with him. It's just not the same thing.
That's real.
And so shout out to them, man. They are super, super dope, man. Make sure, number one, that y'all checking them out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 1 p.m. right here on What's In It for the Black People Media. But number two, man, y'all go to their page and just show them some love on being recognized for giving out the greatest nickname in baseball.
In baseball history.
That's bananas, G.
Yeah, we got to make a correction, too. You said Hank Aaron made the home run single season, broke the home
No,
run.
he didn't. It was all time, right?
All time.
714.
Yeah, all-time record.
Yeah, I'm tweaked. Appreciate you for correcting that.
That wasn't me. That was somebody in the comments. I can't remember who.
Appreciate you for correcting that. You're absolutely right. It was the all-time record, and I think it was like 714 or something like that. That seemed like a really, really high number. Anyway, appreciate the correction on that for sure.
It is hot as hell in here. Now I'm getting hot as hell.
It's not even cool, G. It's like literally and figuratively, it is not cool in here, y'all.
Yeah, it's some slave shit.
Unbelievable. This is not like something's wrong with y'all in this. Yeah, I turned it off already, Lil Ron.
We gonna have to call the Department of Labor around
anemic.
this
Like these are inhumane working conditions.
These are inhumane.
I'm finna turn off these lights. It's finna get real dark in this studio. We're gonna go off these regular lights because these lights already make it 97 degrees in here.
Yeah, they make me albino white anyway, so I don't give a fuck. Them shit's dead out.
We do this joint in the whispers in the dark on Relationship Friday. The hell is going on around this camp, man? But nah, man, I just wanted to make sure that we acknowledge the bigs, man. So y'all hop over to their page, show them some love, man. Send them some congratulations, some kudos for being acknowledged that way. It is well deserved. It is well earned. Faux show. That being said, too, it's a Relationship Friday, my brother. And so we are definitely going to get into a Relationship Friday discussion. It's a video that I sent you that I want to get into. And we have a guest that's going to be joining us at 4 o'clock. We're going to be speaking to 40-plus divorced mother of two about that experience and going through that, but also kind of dating at this age and what that kind of looks like, right? And also, I want to get her opinion on the video, because the video that I want to play to kind of set the tone for the conversation is interesting. And I think it's very, what do you call it when something is new? Like, contemporary. I think it's a very, very contemporary idea for doing things. Not to say that it's never been done before, not to say that we haven't seen it, but for it to be this mainstream option that people are not only considering but actually living by is quite interesting. And that is well-to-do women, right? Independent. I can take care of myself. I got everything I need. I'm all good. I just don't have any companionship, right? I just don't have.
I'm lonely.
I don't have companionship. Nobody's spending time with me. Nobody's hugging me, cuddling me. Nobody is beating the doonies. I need that part, right? And so, in order to get that, because maybe I don't have the time, to get out in this dating scene and kind of go through the process, or I don't have the skill set or confidence to get out here and do that, right? Or I don't even have the desire to get out here and do that. I'm just going to pay for it. And so you got companionship for hire, and I'll probably, as we go through the show, call it penis for pay.
But at the end of the day, though, cuz if we live in such a transactional society, isn't all of it companionship for hire?
That's the conversation.
I just think they just being honest about it.
We just cutting through the crap, right? Let's cut through the crap, fam. This is exactly what I need you for. You might need me for this. Cool. I got a few bucks to spare. Do you have some time and penis to spare? If you do, let's trade those things. Everybody is all good.
So
I just want to know how y'all feel about that.
It's interesting that you brought that to the conversation, because I didn't know what we was talking about today at all.
Penis for pay.
Yeah.
Rent a dick.
So it's interesting, man, because Nyla, one of the family members from the comments, sent me an article about
up, Nyla?
Beautiful black women and the white billionaires who love them.
Oh, okay.
And it's interesting because of the context, right? Sure. Specifically when you start talking about penis for pay or whatever. And it's a short article. It's like a paragraph.
Adrian, sit down, man. We just getting started.
It's like a paragraph or whatever. It says, beautiful black women and the white billionaires who love them. While thousandaires and athletes have chosen to date others, it seems that the more and more wealth men, notice I didn't say rich, are dating women of color. Billionaire Ben Horowitz was said to have been quoted as saying, billionaires prefer black women. They are loyal and guard your interest. Black wives are for grown-ups, which led me to research billionaire men dating black women. So don't worry, women. Your skin may not be light enough to snag a rapper.
Oh, wow.
But you can still snag a billionaire businessman. Just remember that to attract a billionaire, you have to be educated, have your own career/interests, and have ambition.
Two things. That's really
the end of the article. Anyway.
I know, and I got my opinion on that, but I have to pause for a second because Big Lavender is just openly displaying his haterism. Like it's bad. He's our number one fan. Like nobody rocks with us the way Maze rocks with us.
I don't know why you pay attention to his comments.
He's like Iswis dropped y'all last night for Keisha Cole and Ashanti. You know what he said the Maze Jackson show, which is really the Ruthie Moore show, right, would never do that to y'all. Talking about they left y'all for some other women last night.
Look at it, man.
Just like, are you comfortable with that level of hate?
Hey, man.
Are you why are you trying to openly poach our family to come hang? They come. I see them. They come through your room sometimes. They come chill with y'all for a little minute. But this is family right here. You can't really run a wedge up into this thing. This Iswis thing is locked down.
I know you a little bit younger than me. I don't know if LL was popping when you was born. You still hit the LL Cool J?
Big time.
There's a line in LL Cool J's earlier music that I always leverage, right? He said, when you get old and ask you what you did with your life, you're going to say, I hated LL and carried a big knife.
That is real spill. That is real spill. I mean, that type of open, blatant hate, like that's crazy. That's crazy. But of course, it always comes from the outside. He don't even know what he's talking about.
Hate is just misdirected love.
That's
He just don't know how to express.
He don't know how to say, man, her.
Bolingbrook
I fuck with y'all heavy.
You scarred him, right?
Yeah.
I can imagine he didn't have very many black friends, so there was probably false friendships in the first place.
Yeah.
So he never really had.
So when he matriculated to Chicago, it was
He
like,
couldn't
listen,
relate.
I really want to be cool with y'all. I don't know how though. So let me just sit over here and talk shit. You know what I'm saying? It's okay, man.
okay,
we
man.
all right. It's cool, bro.
Hey,
like
brother, we accept you.
we accept you just as
you
you
are.
It's all good, man. It is all good. Talk about the book club. He don't even know what he's talking about. We don't even run the book club. We don't even run the book club. The rest of the Iswis family runs the book club. That is Shannon's book club. Robin is in full support of that thing. They running that joint. Like, anyway, I'm sorry.
Hey, on that point though, man, Big Lavender got a scam running.
Don't he
I don't know what
always-
the scam is, G.
Don't he
I don't
always-
know how to figure it out yet. Him and Tennille is up to something.
Don't he always?
So I could comment. So I've been telling y'all since yesterday, I can't comment on no other show.
You can't comment on none of the shows?
I can't get into no other show.
Uh-huh.
And every time I walk in this room, my computer starts acting crazy.
Uh-huh.
I can't comment on any other show. But this morning I wake up and I can comment just fine on the Maze Jackson show.
Really?
So he's trying to leverage my celebrity.
Yeah, you can come in this room. You can't come in no other room. That's crazy. And they put a bug in your computer.
I know, old hater. I know he did it. I
it's-
know it was you, Maze. I know it was you.
It's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable.
Like Fredo talking to in The Godfather. I know it was you,
Tennille
Fredo.
say,
I know it was you, Fredo. I know it was you, Fredo. I know it was
It is what it is. The things that we have to overcome to maintain our status as the premier show on the What's in It
Man,
for the
it's
Black
tough
Food
out
Media
here,
Network. It's tough, but you know, listen, man. To whom much is given, much is tested.
But look, real quick, I don't want to
Yeah,
go too far.
yeah, I do wanna hit that.
away from
All
this
right, come on.
from this white billionaire who loves black women conversation.
Yeah, we gotta
right?
hit that for sure.
And it goes, and it just has pictures of the research, obviously. So they put up a picture of famed billionaire director of the Star Wars movies, George Lucas, and his black wife, who they didn't even mention her name, Janet Jackson, and Wassan Almana, who has a net of $4.5 billion. And from my understanding, they're not together. She just copped the baby and took part of his money. So that just already in the second picture, they despise, they go against everything that the article already says. Russian billionaire tycoon Vladimir Doronin,
Okay.
and supermodel Naomi Campbell. I don't know nothing about that status personally. Billionaire Peter North of Norton Security, and his wife Gwen Adams, and billionaire business mogul Richard Branson and Kelly Rowland. Is Kelly Rowland dating Richard Branson? I thought she had a black husband. This is a terribly written article.
I don't know. I know he shot the club up.
Yeah, that's not true. Kelly Rowland's with a black dude, from my understanding. At least that baby look black. She need to be.
I don't know.
If it is with Richard Branson, he need to have a conversation.
Hey, come here. We got something to talk about.
He definitely need to have a
She
conversation.
like, it's cool, baby. You know y'all genes is recessive.
And Prince Letchewestein, Maximilian, and Princess Angela Brown, and Tyra Banks is reportedly dating
That's
Iranian
Tyra
billionaire
Banks, fool.
Sherwin Pishrar.
Okay, cool.
So that's all
the thing.
6 of them.
Right. First of all, but
That's all 6 of them.
let me come at it like this. Instead of making this thing about like, oh, that's a better situation for us, like, just look at it for what it is. Black women, the dopest thing God ever did.
Absolutely.
And so,
Third dopest. Water and oxygen.
second. Strong number 2. And so if I got enough money to get anything I want, people included, I'm going to get the best thing available. I got the dopest house you can find. I got the dopest car you can find. And I have the dopest woman you can find. And that happens to be black women. It makes perfect sense. Now, why you want to go and make it this whole thing about, oh, what black women need to be? Like, you don't just wake up and like, I'm going to go find me a billionaire. They come find you. And they come find the ones that they want. And black women are at the top of the list. So it makes perfect sense to me that the most rich dudes in the world, some of them, a few of them, have black wives or women. Like, it's not deeper than that. Like, why you want to make this whole thing? Why a few white billionaires marrying black women has to turn into some indictment against black men it's
Because
silly
that's how
as
the
hell.
narrative works, G.
It's silly as hell.
That's how the narrative works too, but it also elevates white life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, when you start thinking about it from that perspective, and you know, I guess this is consistent with Relationship Fridays, and there was a conversation that I was having with another woman not too long ago, and she talked about, they was talking about interracial. Matter of fact, it wasn't even the conversation I was having. It was the show. Mm-hmm. It was a show that was happening here when they had the interracial dating conversation.
Right. That was on. That was in the zone.
In the zone. The new show,
just Wednesday. Yeah, with Brian Foster. Shout out to Brian Foster, man. They had a virtual party last night. I went through. They do this like virtual dance day party on Thursday or something like that. And so Brian told me to follow through, and I fell through. It was a good time, man. They was vibing out.
So there's like virtual day parties these days.
So you don't. If it wasn't virtual, you wouldn't be there. So what difference do it make?
That's absolutely true. I'm just trying.
But yeah, they do virtual parties, and they got like DJs set up, and everybody's kind of like on got their cameras turned on. Everybody's kind of having their parties individually. They dancing, they drinking, they partaking in the festivities
through the screens, huh?
Through the screens, baby.
Yeah, that's whack.
I got to push back against this virtual day party shit.
I'm just saying. But yeah, the conversation was on in the zone.
Yeah.
And you making me lose my train of thought talking about that whack shit. What the hell are we talking about, man?
I had a good time, but anyhow, go ahead.
Bless your heart, man.
Bless your heart. See, ain't that what you were saying during the show?
Hey, bless your heart, man. That's all I got, man. When shit get too far for me to understand, I just say, hey, bless your heart, man. Some shit is over my head. I accept that. You got it, G.
You got it, big dog.
You know what I mean? But in the conversation, that's what it was. In the conversation, the racial conversation, the interracial dating conversation, there was a part of that conversation that brought up the fetishization of the black female and both genders. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we can't get away from that. Now, we in America, and there's this, you know how American media works. It tells you lies all day long. Mm-hmm. So they've created a white beauty standard that only the bottom caste buys into, right? But when you are just sure of yourself, you cannot deny the beauty of the black woman. There's nothing better in the world. So I would imagine if you've got an XYZ amount of money and you can supersede whatever the social standards are, of course you're going to go get a black woman. I mean, I would.
Why wouldn't you?
You know what I mean? So I'm with you on that one. But again, it's like, they named all 7 of those women that had encounters with those billionaires.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's also something we got to put in perspective when articles come out like this. And I know how media works. Like, you hear some shit on television, you see some shit on the internet, you hear some shit through the radio. And because of the way our minds are set up and we operate in this aspirational space, immediately that shit becomes like the truth.
Of course.
Right? Like, you can access that. Mm-hmm. First and foremost, man, the likelihood of you ever encountering a billionaire is slim to none.
It's minimal. And Slim is leaving.
Right. Slim to none, and Slim probably on his way out the door. You know what I'm saying? The likelihood of us coming from our community with our wealth capacity of encountering a millionaire is slim to none. You know what I mean? I know some millionaires legitimately. I legitimately know some.
Yeah, I know a couple of billionaires. Just bumped into them through my brother's professional basketball shit. Until you just bump into a couple of these motherfuckers, but they treat you. They act the same way. They like treat you like a toy. Like, hey, like it's my black friend.
Yeah, dance, Nick.
Yeah, they be hella excited, especially if they like remember your name or some shit. They're like, you supposed to be excited because you remember your name. Like, I remembered yours. Like, fuck. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Man, no, I salute it, man. But my point is, you're just not going to count on people, and it creates an ideology or a false hope. Like, that's not real, and it makes you focus on the greatest transaction you can make instead of building a healthy, mature, secure relationship with the people you do encounter. You know what I mean? And it's just a sickness that is cyclical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's every generation. It's this new, I'm going to be this, I'm back. And we can see it happening in real time, but we're not paying no attention. If there was a while ago, you played a video for me where there was a little girl at some kind of school ceremony, and they was like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And she was like a stripper.
Right.
And
it was a kindergarten graduation.
Not too long ago, there was another video that went viral about, I don't know if it was a little boy or a little girl because you could only hear the voice. But he speaks out to his mom, and it was like, are you going to trick tonight? Like, we normalize these behaviors.
The little boy getting the lap dance from the grown stripper lady.
This shit starts to get normalized, right? Whether it be via seeing it on Instagram, whatever the fuck it is, all of the energy starts to get normalized.
Sure.
And I'm just not negating women because it's the dudes, too. The holding the money phone up is all this shit equates to value. But you really, like a generation ago, that same person would have been like, ostracized. You look like a fucking goofball.
Yeah, you're a clown right now.
Yeah, you're a clown right now. Even this, let's normalize being sex workers and shit. I know you with that, but it's part of that. When you start to normalize that behavior,
you see how you just throw that kind of shit.
I know who you are, Herb. I'm just putting it out there.
Hey, you see how he ain't negated though either.
Hey, stand your truth.
I wasn't gonna interrupt his point just because he being petty. Like
I ain't being petty.
Not
I'm
petty.
just
You just throw it in. Like I know you fully support that. Like I do your shit.
I know you with that shit.
Right? I know you out here
that
buying
bullshit.
box. No, I'm not, sir. Like that's not happening at all.
You with that bullshit.
I've said that it's cool with me if they want to do it.
Hey, I'm cool. You cool. It's cool to sell it, but I ain't buying that shit.
Hey, I'm
oxymoronic.
Listen, man. I had a conversation a couple months ago. I was this close to having penis for rent.
Hey, do what you gotta do,
right?
man.
And I was like, I was half joking, right? As I'm having this conversation, but as I'm having this conversation with this woman, I'm like, oh, this is actually some shit I could fucking do. Like this could actually fucking work out. Now, as fate would have it, I didn't go down that road. I slipped, fell, and bumped my head on some other shit. But anyhow,
so this goes.
I'm not opposed to it.
This goes into a whole nother conversation. Then the video you might play again. I ain't see it. I didn't watch it. You gave me kind of the synopsis you gave the listeners. Mm-hmm. But that is not like an irregular thing in our community. You know what I mean? Like we talk about it like it's a rarity, but it's not. Nah. I remember like when I first went to school, and I think I've told you this story before. When I first went to college, it was the first time I met a girl who's like openly tricking on me. Like I ain't never had no shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she was tricking for that level of life. Yeah, like she went all the way in.
Good trickage.
Good trick.
At that point, it's shoes and food.
Shoes,
shoes, food, and cash.
Couple new pair of kicks, some outfits. I was on, right?
Winning.
And I remember, like, telling my old man, like, yeah, man, shorty just yada yada yada. Mm-hmm. My old man was like, "That's how much you cost, nigga." And it made me feel
this big,
small than a motherfucker.
Not me. I'd be like, hell yeah, these motherfuckers fly as fuck. That's about the gore rate.
That's about what I cost.
It's about the gore rate for 30 minutes. I'm with it.
It made me feel. It really made me feel small.
Yeah.
And I never accepted nothing from a woman ever since. Yeah, okay. I like that. A woman I was dealing with
not
like
direct
that.
transactional. Like, right.
Now you in a relationship. My wife is something different. But it's that
always
situation.
Right.
Yeah.
No, listen. Hey, all I'm saying is, hey. Hey.
I'm with the bullshit.
Hey. If you
tell them it ain't tricking if they got it.
It ain't tricking if you got it, shorty. If you got some disposable income.
It's still tricking.
Okay, call it what you want. You got some disposable income.
That's all I'm saying. Let's be honest with it.
Okay.
So if they tricking, what does that make you?
I don't see it as tricking, though.
What do you see it as?
I see it as using what you got to get what you want.
So that's not tricking?
No.
What is it? There's got to be a name for the shit.
I just told you. It's using what you got to get what you want.
No, that's a
same thing you go to the grocery store.
That's an action.
You use what you got to get what you want.
So
what I have is money. What I want is bread. I go trade money for bread.
So you're purchasing food.
Same thing.
So what is she purchasing?
Penis. I just told you that.
So there's names for that.
Penis for pay.
Right. So there's names for that.
It's called whatever. It's using what you got to get what you want. It's called shopping, right? Fuck is wrong with you? It's using what you got to get what you want. In this case, what you want is companionship.
This is what's wrong with America right here.
How's that something wrong with that?
Motherfuckers just changed definitions, right? And
I did not. Shit, I didn't change no definition.
No, see, we was in here talking just yesterday. When I was crossing the line almost, when I was like, you're a fruit. Oh, you're
running the whole course.
Right? And you said, man, you know what? It bothers me when, we get these proper pronoun conversations and shit. How can it bother you then? It's the same conversation.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I'm talking about some 6-foot DJ voice dude telling me he's a woman.
Telling you he's a woman.
You're telling
me that somebody who's exchanging money for sexual pleasures is not a trick.
Or just companionship.
It's still a trick.
It's using what you got to get what you want.
You must find Herb's proper pronoun.
It's Herb. My proper pronoun is Herb. You got money. You want companionship.
Use a hoe.
I have
use a trick.
Or you want penis. I got some of that.
I'm okay with that.
I want money. So I'm going to use what I got to get what I want, which is money. You using what you got to get what you want, which is penis.
Hey,
penis for pay, rent a dick.
I'm okay with the action. I just want us to be honest about what it's called.
Why? Why can't what I'm saying be the honest definition of what it is? Why does it have to be this? Why does it have to be this derogatory, negative connotation thing? Right? Because it's cool for dudes, right? The term sugar daddy has been around forever, right? And that's always cool. It is what it is. Now you might say it ain't tricking it, and all we say about that is it ain't tricking if you got it. It ain't tricking if you got it. And so, like if it's cool for dudes, then how come when a woman be like, all right, cool.
Who said it's cool for dudes?
It's been cool for dudes.
When?
Forever.
No.
Bro, how long has the term sugar daddy been around?
And how long has it been a moniker for a clown?
Not often, G. Very rarely.
Anybody that has ever been called a sugar daddy from the male populace is a clown.
Not true.
Ron.
I'm for saying women ain't calling them clowns, but the niggas is calling them
clowns.
Maybe when you're like 20, 30. But by the time you're like 40, 50, 60-year-old dude, nobody cares if you spending a couple bucks knocking down whoever you knocking down. Nobody cares about that, bro.
I don't care regardless. It just is what it is.
I'm saying not just not care. Nobody is really judging you on that. You know what I'm saying? You like, oh yeah, he
I
keeps
don't
some
judge
chicks.
anyway.
Yeah,
Let's
he might
be
pay a
honest.
few bucks. He might pay a car note or something like that. That's his thing. Nobody's on that.
Now that is true. After a certain age limit, you can't really care.
Ain't nobody saying you. Ain't nobody
I
saying
don't
you
care,
should
but
be tricking.
it don't change the definition.
At 20 and 30, that's a different situation. But as you get older in life, you more secure with yourself. You done kind of ran your race. You don't really want to be out here in the streets like that and playing the game like that, shorty. I just want a little bit of your time, a little affection, a little physicality,
I just want to trick
and
a
then you
little
can
bit.
bounce. No,
I just want to trick a little bit.
I just told you what I want. So you just
all of that is tricking.
You insist on making it this negative thing and putting the trick in. All I'm saying is all that person is looking for is the companionship, the physicality, a little bit of time.
And I'm spending for it, so I'm tricking.
What I'm not finna do.
You're not here because you enjoy my time.
No, and I don't want you here because I enjoy you.
So you tricking, it's okay.
No, I'm cutting through the bullshit. I'm not gonna go to the club.
He's not paying for pussy. He's paying for her for lead.
Right, you don't pay him to come. You pay him to leave.
Still a trick.
No, listen, listen, man. All I'm saying is, if it's good for the men, it should be good for the woman too.
I didn't say it was good for either party. I said it is what it is. Right? If you're a prostitute, I'm fine with that. Just call yourself a prostitute. That's all I'm saying.
Fine.
If you're a trick, I'm fine with that. Just call yourself a trick.
Why?
That's what you are.
Why is that so necessary?
If you're an intellect because you read, I appreciate you saying, hey, I'm an intellect.
Why is that so necessary for you?
Because we need labels.
Why can't a motherfucker just be like, I like books? Oh, you're an intellect. No, I just like books. You're an intellect. Okay, calm the fuck down, sir. I just like books. Cool out. Like, cool out. They want companionship, physicality, little time.
Trick.
I got money for it. That's what I'm gonna spend.
Goof.
Cool. You
call Sugar daddy. Whatever you want to call it.
You call it what you want. We're gonna have that conversation. That is going to be the conversation today. We have a guest joining us at 4:00. Juliet Scott is going to be hanging out with us. And we're gonna see how she feels about this particular conversation.
Says, open up the phone lines now.
Y'all ain't gonna call. Y'all is not gonna call. But if you do call, help me.
If you do?
Help me set my prices. The
price has already been set. It's $40 hollers. That's what it is.
Help me write my menu out. I ain't trying to break
I think
the bank.
40 is the going rate.
For what?
I've seen cheaper. For everything.
For everything?
That's what I've heard.
I can't give everything for 40.
I've seen 20 get you some places.
I can't go for that.
I didn't say what you could go for. I'm saying what the going rate is. I'm not, once you figure out the going rate, then you got to decide what your own value is and go either up or down.
I'm at the top of the market, though. This is like A1, grade A, USDA beef, fam. This ain't that.
That's up to you, bro. I'm not in that conversation. You know what I mean?
All right, we're going
to I just said what the going standard is.
Cool. Anyhow, that's the conversation we're going to be having starting in the 4:00 hour. We're going to spend the next 15 minutes or so talking to our good brother, Mark Quinn. McDonald Q is on the line with us. And, man, I wanted to mention this yesterday, and it slipped my mind because I'm kind of old and I'm forgetful. But Q had a harrowing story that he told on, I don't know, Facebook, Instagram, somewhere, about being nearly carjacked the other day. And he's our brother, so one, I just want to check in with him. But two, because Q is who he is and he moves how he moves, he ain't going to just have the problem be the problem. He going to come with the solution at the same time. What are you laughing at?
I know we got Q on the line, but Shannon said your rate would probably be between 45 and 40.
Okay, now we talking. We getting somewhere.
Almost 50. You're high
45, 48.
High fin ball out here.
We can negotiate from there. That's a nice baseline. We could go from there. We can see. We can negotiate. That's like a la carte though. You know what I'm saying? That's this or that. You know what I mean? It's not it's not the whole situation. You feel me?
Okay.
We can talk about it though.
So
right?
the other $5 is what you get to pick from the menu.
Yeah, you get that's what I'm saying. We got to come with the menu.
Fingers, tongue, all that type of shit.
Everything's on the table, baby. We can talk about it. Everything got a price.
But, yeah, okay.
Whoa. You just went way.
I'm saying when you trick it, ain't no rules.
You just went
I'm just saying.
way too far.
You said a la carte.
You just went so far left.
You said a la carte. I just want to know.
Why did you just? Why did you just?
That's just saying. You said a la carte. I'm just listening to what you said.
Unbelievable what you just came
I'm
with.
just listening to what you said. What does a la carte mean?
Yeah, that's not on the menu.
It's like Burger. You can have it your way.
Sorry, sweetheart, it's not on the menu.
Oh, okay, I'm cool. I just want to know who I'm sitting next to every day, man.
Let me give you my little brother Ron number. That's on the menu over there.
Okay,
That's on the menu over there. Can I get back to what I'm doing, man? We're gonna have that conversation for at least an hour. let me get to this important stuff.
I'm going to be respectful when the woman comes up because I don't want to have this image of myself out here.
It's too late. Everybody knows you, Tucson. Jesus Christ.
Talk to Q, man.
I'm trying to talk to Q. Your ass is acting a fool. Shit. Anyway, Q, what's going on, brother?
I don't know what I just came in on.
I'm sorry.
Being heard.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. Things start and then they take on a life of its own and they be gone. I be trying to reel these people in and say later, but they go crazy.
Hey,
Shannon, they don't know how to act.
Nothing wrong with your life,
We appreciate you taking the time, man. First of all, good to see you. Glad you are doing well. Glad to see you smiling as usual, man. You went through a pretty intense experience, man. I know you can handle yourself, but that don't make it no easier to deal with when you deal with such a situation. So real quick, tell us kind of what happened to you. Was that Monday night, Sunday night?
No, it was Wednesday.
Okay.
It was Wednesday evening.
I don't know how I went back that far. I don't even know what day it is.
So it was real simple, man. As you know, tomorrow we have pretty much an event where Sister Africa Porter pretty much gathered Black men together to do a call of action to work from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. to serve as a form of. Are you still there? I'm sorry.
Yeah, got you loud and clear, so you hear.
Okay, it looked like you fell off. I'm sorry. To serve as a form of safe passage for women and children, and so on and so forth, because those hours seem to be peak hours during the daytime that women get carjacked. So I was on my way to meet one of my good brothers, and that was thinking about coming out with this, and he wasn't ready. He was over on 47th and Drexel. I told him, I'll just go ahead and drive around the block, check the block out real quick. And then as I'm going northbound on Drexel and get to 45th, I'm always in my mirrors. I look both ways. So I look westbound down Cottage, no cars behind me, which speaks volumes for what I'm about to say. And as I make that right on the 45th, I go down going towards Woodlawn. I noticed after about a block and a half away, there was a vehicle approaching me at a high rate of speed with his headlights out. And then when I'm looking at my review, I can see, it looks like 3 passengers inside. So automatically I felt like, okay, I kind of think I know what this is, but I don't know. So as he's about to get close and it looks like he's about to ram my bumper, I decided to just speed up. And then when I sped up, they sped up. And that's when I figured, okay, this looks like it might be what I think it is. So I got a chance to see that the passenger was a light-complected gentleman. The driver was a little bit darker. I couldn't really see the backseat driver. I could tell that they all had on hoodies, even the backseat, because you could see the tip of that hoodie on top of his head. And so what they did was they got to my driver's side. They sped up, got to my driver's side. And as I make that right turn on 45th and Woodlawn, they make the right turn with me. And you can hear them rev the engine, meaning they're speeding up to try to cut me off. And I'm looking at them, they're looking at me. And then a small detail that I'm going to leave out, as far as I'm just going to say that I do carry concealed. And, that situation happened. I sped up, put my, my sidearm inside the cup holder, and I picked up the phone. I have what's called a Galaxy Note It's a pretty big phone. So when I dialed 911, I've held my phone up to where they could see it out the back window, because when you dial 911 in emergency, it shines bright red. And so everybody knows that. I don't care if you have an iPhone or if you have an Android. And then I'm not an iPhone user, but if I'm not mistaken, when 911, it comes up red and it says emergency. And so, all right. When I called the,
I don't know that number.
when I called the police, I went ahead, let them know what's going on, that I was being chased. The 911 operator explained to me that I'm 9 times out of 10, this is probably most likely a carjacking. She asked me, I told her where I was going. And as we're about to cross 47th Street, I slowed down so they could get closer to my bumper. And as they got closer to my bumper, I made a hard left, which kind of threw them off. Hard left, hit the gas, turned around, looked at them. They're looking at me like, damn. And then they just kept straight. So, and a few minutes later, after that, there was a report of shots fired on 52nd and Kimbar. So we don't know if it's related to that vehicle. However, we do know that
they was going back south in that way.
Yeah. They was going back south in that direction, exactly. One thing I do want to give a shout out to was the 911 operator. She stayed on the phone with me just to make sure that my nerves was calm, just to make sure that everything was good, make sure I was straight. I had a lot of support from brothers who came to see me. I just, that's what community is about. I put a phone call out, and a good group of brothers came to support me, and a shout out to the FOI who was there as well to have my back. And that was it. I have to say that I am fortunate. The young men are fortunate, and the reason why I say that is because I could have possibly killed one of them. I could have possibly been killed. No one at that moment was hurt. I'm fortunate that I have a certain level of training that I have, that throughout my life and my professions, it allowed me to, my training didn't fail me. I'm happy for that as well. And I'm just thankful that, I was able to make it home to my family, man. It is what it is. It's funny because we were just talking about all this, and you would never think, sometimes you're like, man, I know it's possible. But the fact that it just happened, and I was just on the news earlier that day talking about tomorrow, and then all of a sudden that happened, and I was like, man, so Hyde Park is definitely a hot spot. Bronzeville is a hot spot, and my what I would like to tell everybody is just to stay aware. To be aware is to be alive. Keep your head on a swivel, and if you can, go take some training courses somewhere, and just be wise in what you're doing.
Well, my brother, man, listen, we just want you to be careful, man. We love you dearly. And, as much as we appreciate, respect, and advocate for the work that you do, you our brother. And we want to make sure you're good. And that's why, too, like, hey, you slow down on some of that Batman shit. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
This wasn't that, but you know what I mean? At the same time, it kind of was. I mean, that's what I was about to do anyway. And so
no. We was just talking. We wasn't. So let me put this out there before people be like, see, I thought he said he's unarmed.
Yeah.
No, I'm not you, but some people will take it that way. Whenever I'm on patrol, I am unarmed. I don't carry. But however,
that's weird too.
So I'll tell you why.
I know why. I understand why.
Yeah.
But
I want to tell the people why. The reason why I do carry unarmed when I'm on patrol is because it can be misconstrued as I am on some vigilante. What is it? Vigilantism.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then I'm out here doing whatever. And so therefore I don't want to do that. And you can possibly get yourself jammed up pretty bad depending on the situation.
Sure.
Somebody will say that you're trying to act like you were the police. However, when I'm out with my family, when I watch my wife walk to her car, when I watch my wife come home from wherever she is, whether that's work or the grocery store, when I'm out with my children, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to, as a legal concealed carry holder, I am going to carry my sidearm with me. And so, I was just going to greet the brother because we were going to talk about galvanizing more men to go out in the community and to be some support to our sisters and to our community, so we can try to somewhat deter and maybe help decrease some of the action that's going on out here.
Well, glad you're okay, man. Glad that thing didn't go the way it could have gone. We got a couple minutes left, but tell us more about the initiative for tomorrow, what is being asked, and how people can get involved if they want to.
So shout out to Sister Africa Porter.
Indeed.
She, like I said before, she went ahead, contacted several brothers, myself included, and she asked if we can all come together in our respective neighborhoods and serve as safe passage for sisters. This is happening all around the city, southwest, northeast. It don't make a difference. This is happening all over. So what's going to happen is we know we have a group of brothers that's supposed to be in Roseland, Chatham, Inglewood, Woodlawn, Hyde Park, Bronzeville, on the west side. I don't know what neighborhoods on the west side, but right now I do know as far as the south side, from what I've been told, as far as yesterday, the last numbers was like 130 men that are going to show up. We're going to meet at the BP gas station on 52nd and Lake Park, where a lot of these carjackings have taken place. That's the BP gas station on 52nd and Lake Park at 11 a.m. We're going to meet there, rally up, show some unity, and then we're going to leave there and go to our neighborhoods, and we're just going to hold post until 1 a.m. Some are going to sit and monitor gas stations. Others are going to patrol through the community and neighborhoods, and just to keep an eye out and, you know, make sure that we can somewhat either be a visible deterrent or give some assistance to some sisters that may need help, and hopefully, you know, nothing negative will come across. Hopefully sisters and children and the elders will be able to move to and fro with no problems.
Q, which gas station you gonna be at? I mean, I know everybody's meeting that over there right next to Whole Foods or whatever, but that's where you plan to post up at?
No, sir. So that is one location. So we're going to be at the gas station on 42nd and State Street. The gas station is right across from Mariano's in Bronzeville, right there between 39th and King and Cottage. There's a gas station right there. There's another BP. We're going to be there. Sorry about that, guys. If we have enough men, right now it looks like we do. We're going to have some on 51st and Michigan. There's a gas station there, and another gas station on the BP that's on 35th and King Drive, and the other remaining cars will be doing roving patrols throughout the neighborhood. And what we're doing, though, if you're coming to Bronzeville, we're meeting at 10 a.m. at the Marcus Garvey Center at 330 East 37th Street. That's 330 East 37th Street. That's the Marcus Garvey Center. And what we're going to do there is we're going to go over small strategy just to let everybody know what's going on and what to do, what not to do. We're going to go over a technology breakdown. We're going to have everybody download their Zello app, which is a walkie-talkie app, so we can keep in communications with each other throughout this process. And then we're going to also talk about assignments, where everybody is posted, and what everybody's role is. And then we're going to go from there to 52nd.
Do me a favor, Q, because I can't do it from here. But when you hang up, get in the comments, type the address, and I think Herb probably could ping it or pin it or whatever, and it'll stay top of the bar. So everybody can have that address.
Okay.
For the Bronzeville thing? You talking about the 52nd?
For Bronzeville or for
330 East 37th Street?
Well, let me say this. If anyone is interested at all, period, go to the 52nd, the spot on 52nd and Lake Park. And if you want to join Bronzeville, you can join us. And then what we'll do is we'll have you partner up with some of the other guys, and then we can take it from there. And those guys can go ahead and just brief you on what we went over in our 10 o'clock meeting.
I bet. So Herb is doing it now, so we got you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate the work, brother. Definitely, I'll be out there with you. Unless I found out that there's a team that is already organized to do work in South Shore, then I'll get with them. Otherwise, I'll be out there with you, man. So we talked about that earlier, but either way, man, thanks for doing the work. Glad you all good. Thanks for taking the time to check in with us, man. And we'll holler at you here in a minute.
Can I say one more thing? Just real quick?
That's all you can say. We're done.
Just real quick.
Go ahead,
let me just say this, man. I don't care. Listen, I know some people may feel like, well, man, because some people has told me, hey, something negative gonna happen to you, something bad gonna happen, you doing this, that, and the third. Hey, man, that's an occupational hazard when it comes to trying to do right for your community and people. So don't.
Man, we ain't even letting that kind of shit permeate in our thoughts.
Yeah,
we ain't letting that kind of shit permeate in our thoughts, brother. We ain't even gonna put that shit in the ethos.
Exactly. We warriors. We go out here and put in the work, and it is what it is. All right. If you're a boxer, just be prepared to get punched in the face. It's as simple as that. So, hey, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Love, bro. See you in the morning.
Yes, sir.
Peace. That was our brother Mark Quinn McDonald, kind enough to hop on with us for a minute, and one, talk about the ordeal that he went through on Wednesday night, and then two, to let us know about
initiative that is going to be happening across the city tomorrow. I just pinned it up. Anti-carjacking initiative tomorrow. The meetup is going to be at 52nd in Lake Park at 11 a.m. if you want to participate. So shout out to Q. Shout out to Sister Africa Porter. She is
good, man.
the queen, absolutely, for putting that together as well. See, man.
So is the guest?
I don't think so. I don't even know. I don't even think I sent the thing.
So Ron is saying go to break. Should we go to break? Or should I say fuck with Ron? Talk about it. Say what.
No, we was definitely finna go to break. Anyway, was you about to say something about Cure or the other?
Yeah, and I didn't want to skip over the guest. That's why. But it's real quick, and I know we got to go to break. But few things I want us to think about, and I'm all for standing up for the community. I'm all for standing in the gap. I've done it the vast majority of my life. But it's a few things at play here. And I know it's been 122 or something like that carjacking since January 1st. But I also think that there's been a heightened awareness because there's a heightened media push to make it a heightened awareness.
Sure.
I was talking to a sister a couple of days ago, and she was, matter of fact, I was talking to my boy, and he was telling me about a sister he knows who got carjacked a few days ago before that. And she was explaining the carjacking to him, and he was just explaining the conversation to me. And I said, no, brother, she didn't get carjacked. Somebody stole her car. And that makes the context very different.
It's not the same.
You know what I mean? My first car got stolen from in front of my house 5 fucking times.
That's not a carjacking.
If we all count that as carjacking, that would go on that roll as 5 different carjackings, and that's a very different kind of experience.
No, carjacking, somebody takes something from you, like out of your possession,
Yeah,
like get out of your car.
Gunpoint, they're running up.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing.
It's not the same experience.
Like not
right?
like I didn't see. I just came
and
outside.
Not that
My car
I'm
was gone.
validating either.
No,
I just want us to be clear,
thing.
right? And I also want us to be very cognizant of that. The last conversation or the largest looming conversation around police and policing today is defunding the police. So the way that we bring energy and to that conversation is by heightening awareness and driving fear. Right?
Absolutely.
So not to say that this shit ain't happening.
Right.
But I want us to be cognizant of the world
why
that we live in.
It's
you know what
such
I mean?
and
it might not be what it's being made out to be.
Yeah, sure.
I know what it does is when you start to operate in that heightened fear, just like Q said, I'm concealed and carry. I got a pistol. I ain't concealed and carry.
Right.
Right. I done sent the shit out, but I ain't got my shit back. But I be in the streets with a pistol.
Better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6.
All the time. But because of this heightened awareness, I was at that gas station on 39th not too long ago, and I got my burner on me. Right. Some young boys pulled up, and they was at the other pump next to me, and some young boys pulled up horizontally behind me. And who knows what the fuck they was. Right. They might have been just some young boys doing young boy shit.
Right.
But immediately my mind went to grab the burner.
And it should.
It really shouldn't know.
No, yes, it should.
It really shouldn't know.
Is that what your personal experience told you that you should do?
Here's what happened, right?
Stop telling us to break. We're gonna break as soon as we get ready to break.
Ron, boy, what
the hell is wrong with you?
I'm glad. I'm so good to see Ron. Just so we can
back
say, hey, Ron,
back in there
fuck
snapping,
you, man.
Back in there snapping your wrist and shit. As soon as it makes sense for us to break this conversation, that's when we're gonna break the conversation.
But I'm only saying this to say what my intuition said. Grab the burner. Right now, I had the burner on my hip, so I lifted up, right, and then I said to myself, man, I don't even need this gas that bad from this gas station. Get your ass back in the car. And I did.
That thing.
Right? Because I listened to my intuition. Right? And I don't want to kill nobody. I don't. Not specifically not no young brothers.
Hell no.
You know what I mean? So I listened to my intuition. I got my ass back in the car and I rolled off. Long story short, I don't know what them young boys was there to do other than to communicate with their boys. I have no clue. Right? But because of this heightened awareness, because of this fear, I was on edge and ready to do whatever the fuck had to be done. And I don't know if that's necessarily healthy either for everybody. You know what I mean? Because everybody ain't gonna have the wherewithal to make the cognizant decision that I made to get back in the car and say fuck that gas. So I just wanted to put that out there. But I'll definitely be there tomorrow too. But I just want us to be conscious of the totality of the conversation.
Yeah, and so I want real quick before we go to break. Do you think that the presence that is going to be shown tomorrow does that go towards kind of quelling some of that kind of fear that you're talking about, or do you think that kind of heightens the level of fear, right? Is it more awareness being dumped into this thing that kind of heightens it, or is it like, okay, at least some community people give a damn and it's more eyes on the situation? Which one? How do you kind of view that?
I think it's life is being a black man in America. I don't think you really have an answer, so you just got to show the fuck up. You know what I mean? You don't really have an answer, so you show up. And anytime there's a show of force by black men for whatever reason, I'm with it. So I'm going to be there.
You keep trusting your instincts, bro. Like, whenever your instincts tell you some shit, do that shit, right? Whatever it was that was telling you that you need to grab it, that was your lifetime experience told you, let me just grab my shit. Do that every fucking time, right? Better to be safe than sorry, man. We're going to take a break. When we come back from break, we're going to jump into the Relationship Friday conversation for today. Is it okay to pay for penis? Is that a thing now? It seems to be a thing. I got a video to kind of support some of that, and we'll have that conversation and more. Also, want to holler at Shannon Young on the flip side of the break. Real quick. This is I Said What I Said. My name is Herb. His name is Tu. Behind the glass in the production studio, almost getting on our nerve. It's the one and only Ron Rilla. We'll be right back after this.
WIFTPM. Hey Chicago, it's Dawn Millhouse from the Book of Dawn. There's a lot of fake news about the COVID vaccine, just false information. So our station has joined the Protect Chicago team to help share the truth about the vaccine and dispel the rumors. I hear all the time, I've already had COVID. I don't need the vaccine. You're wrong. Get the facts by visiting the What's in It for the Black People Media page on Facebook and www.chicago.gov/COVIDVax. That's COVIDVAX. We're in this together, Chicago. Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday.
I learned you worth more when you ask for nothing. Thoughts of killing shit, my brain's a weapon of mass destruction. Nuclear thoughts lead to atomic verses. Me and Max attack with a common purpose. I stole them niggas, you stole out your mama purses. You bitch niggas been disloyal since KB Toys. The streets gave me poise. No Melvin's just a bunch of Rodneys and baby boys. Listen, I'm not the one that you should try your luck with. Get abducted, fucked up, and then left in a rusted bucket, biatch. Sick train of thought only God can conduct it. Just when they thought I was dusted and not a touch, I adjusted, and bounced back like I had Spalding on me. I am God, the clouds open, now the sun's rays is falling on me. To the heavens is calling on me, my shit gon' be elite. Your shit is mystery meat, you say it's beef, but it's all baloney. And fuck these niggas and all they homies, they all is phonies. I'm riding till the wheels fall off this bitch and it's stalling on me. It's alarming these rappers think that we all in the same ballpark. Fuck y'all thought the disrespect is appalling. Standing over the witch's cauldron, concocting murderous plots to help me further my spot. Guess you can say I'm stirring the pot. Heard a lot of niggas think they fucking with the overlord or going overboard. Potent dope that's moved from vocal cords. The key to success is possessing a gift that can open doors. Therefore the flow is nasty like infected open source. You a knight in rusted armor, equipped with a broken sword. Throwing rocks at a fire-breathing dragon, provoking wars. These is more than rhyming words, my nigga. I'm no thesaurus, I'm too complete for you to compete. My shit deep as the ocean floors. But yet I'm barely scratching the surface. Trust me, it's more to come. So motherfucking hot, I ignore the sun. Imagine if Yvonne Thomas ignored the conscience and chose to abort a son. We never would have got to bear witness to this historic run. It's effortless when I spit these descriptive works of art.
Sissy's Taco Bar pop-up is back. It is every Thursday and Friday evening in January. Stop by 312 East 75th Street Thursdays and Fridays from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. for authentic street tacos made with Southside soul. Sissy's makes the best jerk chicken, sriracha shrimp, blackened salmon, and their very own vegan Cajun tacos, Cajun Jack tacos. They're becoming the popular item. It is the talk of the town. Do not forget to ask about their Rome walking tacos, Sissy street corn, and children's meal that comes with a special prize. Also introducing tamales for pre-order only. Visit sissystacobar.com and sign up for text message updates to get a free taco with any purchase. sissystacobar.com every Thursday and Friday, 312 East 75th Street. Thursdays and Fridays, 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Y'all should strongly consider heading over there this evening for dinner. Get y'all some Sissy's tacos. So I wanna first of all, I saw at the very, very end of the show yesterday, Shannon was like, Iswis book club canceled, right? I saw she had like stop signs up there and everything, right? And so I was like, okay, cool. And so I missed the conversation leading up into that. So I'm assuming that it was about the versus battle and the schedule conflict with that. And so I don't know if that was why. Well, I just wanted to run that by Shannon and see if that was the reason, and if so, when we would be rescheduling the first Iswis book club discussion. So Shannon, let me know what the deal is on that piece. If we did cancel it because of the versus battle, and I was excited about the versus battle myself, that shit was trash. That shit was very disappointing. Did you check out any of it?
Yeah, I checked out the whole thing.
It was,
but I had it on mute, so I didn't know.
First of all, Keisha Cole.
I know Keisha Cole had them things swinging.
She was like an hour and a half late. First of all,
I wasn't watching it that intently. I was just peeping over to see the outfit, see if they was gonna move a little bit.
It was supposed to start at like 7. She came out there like 8:15, 8:20, just like whatever. But her titties were tittying like them. She had them joints. It took at least 3 people to get her in that top, whatever that thing was. At least 3 people put her in that.
Bless they
Somebody
heart.
had to tuck them joints in. Somebody had to like zip the back part up, hold her down. Like,
man, bless their heart, man.
Whew, they was on full display. I didn't hear the songs that much, but I definitely kept the screen on mute while I was at the virtual party with Brian Foster, man. So
Steve said, "Who looked better last night?"
They both look really, really good. And Ashanti had her rack on display as well.
But she ain't holding like Keisha.
Nah, she ain't got it like Keisha got it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't now. Keisha got it on her. Like
she got it on her.
Keisha got it on her.
Got it on her.
So
hey, shout out to who said that?
Pippi.
Pippi. Shout out to Pippi. I got it on me.
Pip, that's Pip has her little thin there. I got it on me. Pip, no, you don't got it on you.
No, you don't got it on you, Pip. Pip, you just not got it on you.
Love you to death says you do not have it on you. Like
Keisha had it on her.
Oh, I got it on me. No, Keisha got it on her
Yeah,
for sure.
she
She's
does.
got that thing on her. She is, and it ain't even concealed. Like she is carrying that joint. They both look good. I don't know who looked best last night. I just tend to think Ashanti is a better looking person than ain't nothing like titties tittying. You ain't never lied, D Millie. Shout out to Sis Don Millhouse. Ain't nothing like some titties tittying, and hers were definitely tittying last night.
Yeah.
I love to put you in. No, you just be like, I'm not taking it, Herb. I'm not taking the bait ever. Herb wasted our first book club from what I heard was trash. It was trash. And why are you putting that on me? I didn't cancel it. You did. It's your book club. I am a member. I had no authority to cancel it, and I would have been there if you didn't say it was canceled. Don't put that on me. All I did was ask you a question.
Blame it on her.
That's kind of what happens around here, man. Everything gets blamed on me.
It works.
Unless it's some technical shit, then we just blame it on Ron.
Ron's fault.
Of course. Ron, how you feeling, bro? I don't even think we said what's up to you today.
Blessed and highly favored family.
Hater.
I love it.
He's really a hater. I'm really going to bring these boxing gloves up here and whoop his ass one day. I promise to God. I promise to God.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Listen, over the break, you brought something to why Shannon is trying to blame shit on me. You brought to my attention that she said.
When your a la carte menu comes up, are you putting Coke in the pee hole?
Right, on my a la carte menu coming, am I putting Coke in the pee hole? I missed that because I would have fell out this chair laughing. That's absolutely hilarious. And the answer is maybe. If my clientele grows at such a rapid rate to where you know what I'm saying? If I got 4, 5, 6 appointments in a day, we might have to consider some, alternative options for maintaining. we might have to test some workout to keep the register ringing, man.
Man, I'm trying to see the comments.
That's
Somebody
funny as
said
hell.
Something I wanted to see.
And then Adrian talking about she'd rather just find the perfect toy for a one-time person. I am the perfect toy, Adrian. First of all, like stop playing. Batteries ain't got nothing on me.
Steve say Shanti is take to the president's ball fine. Keisha Cole is take the Harold's in the liquor store fine.
Wait, say that again.
Steve says Shanti is take to the presidential ball fine.
Oh.
Keisha Cole is take the Harold's in the liquor store fine. I don't want to really go to the presidential ball if you ask me. I ain't really interested in the presidential ball, so I take
go to the presidential ball or go grab this bottle and get some Harold's.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's go get the bottle with some
Let's
Harold's.
go get some Harold's, G.
Let's go grab a bottle, get some Harold's, kick back, shorty. I'm under that act. I'm not trying to go to the presidential ball, eat dry ass chicken. Okay, go get some chicken with some mouse sauce, fam. Stop playing with me. That's what we said yesterday. She got that around the way chick vibe to her. Like
I like that vibe.
I need an around the way. Yeah, I like that vibe. That's definitely my vibe. So
There's a picture floating around right now of Keisha Cole in her outfit.
And her
there's
titties tittying?
They're doing what they do.
I'm gonna see how
And
many
then
times I
there's-
can get that in the show.
You can get it, keep getting it.
Okay, cool.
And then there's like these 2 white specks on back of, I guess it was a piano behind her, and everybody's saying it's Coke on the piano, but it's not Coke on the piano. It's AirPods. G.
That's
We
hilarious.
looking for anything to start some bullshit. It's not Coke on the piano.
People be on it, man. It's not Coke on the PO.
It's AirPods. I can't even get the shit out of my mouth. I said it's not Coke on the PO.
Did you hear Lil Ron try to come through with test your work too early?
I see. He don't understand the rules yet.
You can't understand the rules, bro. If we play test your work at 4 o'clock, the show has to end by 5 o'clock. I don't have more than an hour after we play test your work. I'm just dead ass. Test your work comes on, I am useless. So that's too early to drop a test your work in there.
Cool.
But anyway, listen, man. Let's bring in our next guest. This young lady is become a great personal friend of mine. Her name is Juliet Scott, and she and I actually co-host a radio show for the Black Star Project, and been doing that for a few years now. And she asked me about hopping on the Relationship Friday talk, and I said, "You sure you want to do that?" Because Jules is like real, like saintly. You know what I'm saying? She's real, like salt of the earthy. You know what I mean? And
Bless her heart.
Yeah, bless her heart. She's real, bless her heartish. Like anytime, like when we be doing our show, anytime sex comes up, she turns like red, right? And she ain't even like light skinned like that, and she get like red. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, "You sure you want to come on?" I said what I said for a Relationship Friday talk. And she was like, "Yeah, I want to come on for a Relationship Friday talk." And so here we are. First of all, Jules, how are you?
Greetings, brother. I'm excellent.
Good. Glad to hear it. Thanks for taking the time to join us on this Relationship Friday. Now, I told you, and you've seen it for yourself, this gets a little racy, Jules. I'm surprised that you wanted to be in this conversation, but I'm very glad that you chose to.
Well, thank you. And it's different when we're talking to our elders versus the Iswis family. It's a totally different group.
Okay, listen, if it worked for you, it worked for me. I'm all good with it. I just wanted to make sure you cool with where this thing tends to go.
Hey, don't let them elders fool you though too. That's how you got here.
They get busy.
Hey, they get down too.
I remember my uncle used to say this every time he left like a family function. Be the barbecue or something, he'd be like, "Hey nephew, I'm finna get up out of here, man. Me and your auntie is finna go home. It's finna be 10 toes up, 10 toes down." Right? That's what he used to say all the time. I had no idea what he was talking about for like the first 15 years. I don't like, what is he talking about? He would say this to me, I'm like 7. He's like, "There's finna be 10 toes up, 10 toes down, nephew." Okay, cool. Found out what he said, I would fall out every time after I learned that, man. Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, they definitely be under the act. But anyway, Jules, tell us a little bit. Well, you are 40 years old, right? Okay, you are 40 years old, and
40 years young.
Huh?
I'm grown. Let's just say that.
You grown? Yeah, you are
full grown.
You're a full grown woman. Divorced, right?
Yeah.
And so I want your perspective on that piece. And first of all, like what was that experience like, being married, being divorced, but also what's it like now as a full grown woman, in terms of seeking companionship and people to spend time with as it relates to romance?
Okay, so what it's like being divorced now is just a part of my life. The early part of that was a really big transition. Like you have a life with someone, and then moving out of that space is something that requires, well, at least for me, a real adjustment. It took about 4 or 5 years, I think, for me to feel really normal and ready to experience life with a single woman. I had to go through a process of, I felt like detoxing and preparing myself for the possibility of a quality relationship after that without bringing my stuff into whatever is coming.
And so once you got past that point of like, okay, accepting the fact, okay, this is my new normal, right, as a single woman, then what was it like to kind of throw your hat back in the ring and say, okay, let me kind of dip my toe back into this dating pool, if you will?
Well, it didn't include, what did you guys call it earlier? The prostituting, or what was that term? The exchange of goods. It didn't look like that.
Well, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because okay, we start out it don't look like that, right? Kind of like these. So what did it look like then? Where did you find prospective partners?
Geez. Okay, so if you asked me to go way back, I've been divorced for many years. So what the early part of that looked like is me finding out that what was being offered really wasn't what I wanted at the time. As you know, men like sex. Not to say that women don't, but a lot of times that's the beginning of the conversation. It's not.
You say you know men like sex?
Yes, and I'm not saying women don't.
Because they definitely do. More than us.
Specifically at 40.
Especially at 40.
That thing be burning their thighs off. They super ready.
They at they peak right around that, right? 40 hit and then the peak come in, it's like they insatiable.
Insatiable.
Like let's run it. You gotta put coke in your pee hole to keep up. Okay, so
it doesn't mean that we don't enjoy sex. There's no argument there whatsoever. I just felt like the conversation initially coming out of my space, I wanted companionship, I wanted cuddles and things like that.
right.
And so I found a way to build that. And so for me, what that looked like is having real honest conversations with people about what I wanted and what fit and what didn't. And that kind of was the genesis of me being very comfortable in my own skin, being very clear about what I want and sharing that and being okay with people disappearing.
Yeah. Now I feel that. Okay, so you get to that space, right? And you are advanced in your career, professional, you're an entrepreneur, you are independent. All of that shit is in order for you. And now as you still find yourself in this dating thing, would you ever consider using what you got to get what you want?
What does that
I don't know that I would term it like that. And
okay, well, how would you term it? I don't want to get caught up on semantics here, Tucson. What I mean by that is, would you use any of your resources financially to secure your desires romantically?
Because that's bullshit, right? Everybody uses what they got to get what they want. So if you got Keisha Cole titties, you're going to put them titties on full display.
Okay.
Right? That's using what you got to get what you want. The question you want to ask is, would you pay for some penis?
Okay.
That's a different question.
No, it's not. But okay, sure. Would you pay for penis? What is your idea on the concept of rent a dick?
I don't believe in rent a dick. I don't think it's anything wrong with it, but I don't think it's a good fit for me. So but the other side of that is I like to share, and a lot of women get in trouble because we like to share and perhaps we overshare, but it's not an exchange thing.
Oh, I thought she meant something else with the share word. I was finna applaud. Like, yes, share.
Salute, Queen. You so stupid. I cannot shake your head for that stupid shit.
Hey, I thought she was. I listen. Whatever. Okay. So what does that look like? What? All right. So you're not considering to pay for penis. That's not a thing that will work out for you.
Right.
Okay. But what do you think about people who say that is a thing, right? So they want to cut through it. They don't really have time to date. They don't really want to go out. They don't want to hit the club. They don't want to go out and meet people and go on this date. I want this specific thing. I want companionship. I want cuddles. I want sex. Can this person can provide me that at the quality level that I appreciate it? Instead of going through this whole process of trying to find out if I can find a person like that, I'll just pay for it. What do you say to that woman?
I think when you ask the question in that way, it makes it a very literal statement, right?
Okay.
Like, here's $50, pipe me down, right? And that's full out just prostitution, right? That's full out.
Yeah, I don't think it works like that
right?
in the context. Oh, we didn't play the video.
But
we didn't set
we got to play the video. And I want to get to that.
Right.
But if dude is, down on his luck, you know what I mean, and he needs somewhere to stay, and he beat the duty so he can stay there and get a PS5, you know what I'm saying? That's a different thing.
It's a different thing.
I think that changes the context of the question.
Okay.
So, okay, I get both components, and so here's my position. I think you can do all that without necessarily exchanging anything. It might be a good fit for somebody. You don't have to give up any cash. You don't have to give up any, whatever the gym shoes are, jumpers or whatever, to get that. You might find that somebody is right there with you and just wants that space just like you do.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the honest conversations you can have.
Yeah,
So
no
it
doubt.
doesn't even, the material component doesn't even have to come into it.
Yeah, no doubt. You can certainly meet somebody who is just specifically on what you're on. They cool. They can take care of themselves. You cool. You can take care of yourself. And they just looking for that companionship, that physicality too. And then y'all can sync up. But that ain't the conversation, right?
And I think that's a rarity, right? The context of the conversation.
No, not just the companionship. I'm even talking about the sex. You could. So what works for me is being very clear about what it is you want. And if that's physical contact, and this might sound weird, but even if that's physical contact, I found that there are men that are comfortable not having sex and just being in an intimate space with a woman. And that's the exchange.
For how long?
Sometimes years.
Whoa, they're gay. I'm serious. I ain't even bullshitting.
They're gay?
They would have to be, wouldn't they?
I don't think they would have to be gay.
No, they don't have to be gay. So just because you're not sleeping with me doesn't mean my expectation is that you're not sleeping with someone else.
That's that BS though. Hold up. They're just being your friend and cuddling for years without any expectations? No, they're gay. I don't give a shit. I'm not standing down. They're gay. I'm not standing down.
Well, okay, so.
Have you had such an experience, Juliet?
I have, but I'll add to that, there was a physical relationship at one point. But there was a time when we moved out of that space, but I could still say, hey, I want some cuddles, and I can get them.
I ain't about it.
I see your face, man. I can see you.
Hey, all the fellas in the Paul, like, how old are these men? Howard, like, hell no.
Like they joint work? Something's wrong here. Something's not adding up.
Adrian said he probably has ED.
Yeah, something's wrong there. Something's not healthy. He's a serial killer or something. You need to shake him.
Or he's smashing before he get there.
I don't think that's true. And here's something else.
Nicole said he got a broke dick too. Robin say white people have made that an actual career, professional cuddlers.
Yeah, the white people get away with anything.
I could be a professional cuddler, G. My cuddle game is strong.
Yeah, I have a hard time understanding that philosophy as a man, right? Because sex is available, specifically
Sure.
at that portion of our lives. Like women in their 40s are pretty much going, and we got to be real about the math.
That's hilarious.
It's real though.
It's hilarious.
It's real though, right? You got to think about
It's
the
hilarious.
math, and I'm not trying to, this just a basic math game, right?
Uh-huh.
You add up the homosexual men, you add up the men that are taken away in the penitentiary. Think about just the math on how many black men are in jail. It's more black men in jail in America than there are women in jail in all of the world, right? So when you start dwindling down to the numbers, a man in his, mid 30s to early 50s who's, healthy, and that's all you really got to be, healthy. Halfway handsome might work, but if you're healthy, right, you're pretty much cool because the numbers of black single women are just immense. And we got to be honest about how biology hits your ass at, 30, late 30s, early 40s, right? So I just don't see you striking out. And you got to do the math on the women. In that position, single, XYZ age, you're still competing against 20 XYZ age too, because this transactional society creates a space and place where even that 20-year-old is looking for a man that can kind of create this level of safety for us. So the guys this 30 to 50 still are appealing to that younger woman because they look like security. So I just for just the lamp for a year,
Yeah.
I struggle with it. I struggle with understanding it.
What about the value of whatever that connection is, the relationship, the friendship, and there's a whole movement of people having multiple partners. So one partner might not be that partner that you're in that physical relationship with, but it might be that partner whose conversation you value and who helps you get to your next level if you're building a business or whatever. So that relationship brings with it its own set of values and experiences that are worth it to you. And you can get the sex. You get the sex anywhere.
Yeah, all I know is when
You can get conversation anywhere too, though.
not
You
good
can get
conversation
conversation and
though.
sex.
No.
Not good conversation and not good sex.
But what I'm saying is the odds is in our favor. The force is with us.
May the force be with you. All I'm saying is that, you know, when you look around at what are the most, I guess, normal, if you will, or most accepted relationship constructs, you look around, that shit isn't working, right? And so it just, to me, it makes sense to explore other possibilities for how we can relate to one another. Now, whether you talk about things like polyamory or you talk about things like pay for penis.
Should we play the video to get some context of why this question is even regular?
We're gonna play the video to kind of so everybody can understand. You know what that look. Heard about her gigolos get lonely too, and thought about you. Makes sense now that I know you out here cuddling. First of all, I didn't say I've started that career. I've said I've considered it. Okay, I said I considered it, and I think it could be quite lucrative. It's all I'm saying, and I'm not opposed to anybody who is under that. And I'm just saying, for a long time, it's been cool for dudes to be using their resources to secure companionship or physicality from a woman. Now you're starting to see more and more women who are okay with using their resources to secure companionship and physicality from a man.
The black community is a matriarch.
Cool.
Whether it's talked about or not, it happens.
Rent a dick.
Whether it's the black community is a matriarch. Again, this is the conversation I always have, right? Where you compare every metric in the black community, black women are above us in every metric. Mm-hmm. So it has to be happening. Mm-hmm. It just is. It's the basic math.
It's the oldest profession in the world, right? It's just usually gone one way, and now things kind of, I mean, it still goes that way, but now you're just adding this other thing into it. And you got a lot of, you know, independent, well-to-do women who like, yeah, I don't really have time to be fucking dating, right? I like this person. We got a little chemistry. They cool in bed. They cool to talk to. That person can come over. I'll pay them for a couple of hours of their time and then fucking bounce. All the rest of this shit, I don't need it. I don't need you fucking calling me all fucking day. I'm not trying to go on 3-4 dates with you.
Again,
Can you come over here and hold me and maybe beat the doonies and then go about your business?
And I don't disagree that it's plausible. But what I'm saying is that's the literal explanation of prostitution, right? What I'm saying is, because of the nature of the social norms in America, that's not really an accepted position for a woman to take on most times, right? Just like you said, a dude can pay for some boxing. That's almost the expectation in a great capacity, right? But it's not the same expectation for a woman. So they're not going to exchange that direct capital. But what they'll do is say, well, you can put your toothbrush in this room, and you can let me get you this PS. It plays out differently, but it's really the same thing.
No, I agree with you. I hear you on that. Go ahead,
Julie. Does it always have to be so deliberate? For example,
you say what?
Does it always have to be so deliberate? For example, can it be a context in which there isn't dating? Because I'm not a big advocate of dating myself, but there is this interaction between two people, two adults, whether it's men and women or whatever.
Sure.
We have a whole other community.
Whoever your partner is.
Right. And it's not about the exchange, but the quality of whatever that connection is, that one or the other might do something for the other, but it's not for that connection. So are we minimizing whatever the context of their relationship is?
No, okay. I'm glad you took it there.
You can't define that for somebody else.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I'm glad you took it there. And I've been trying to like stay away from like I don't like labels just in general. It's just not my shit. And so I would try to stay away from that. But just for the context of conversation and advancement, cool. We call it what we want. We call it prostitution, call it tricking, call it whatever the hell you want. But also I want to consider calling it love.
No, that ain't that.
Oh, hold on, right? Because that's why I wanted to play the video. Because in the video, that is the case that what is like Rakim Sekou. Rakim Sekou. This dude is one of the leading he's one of the thought leaders in terms of
self-appointed,
right?
Self-appointed though.
Not self-appointed. A lot of people follow what he's doing.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
A lot of people show up to his seminars and read his books and his talks and all this shit. Him and his wife have built their own ideal relationship community, right? She's got 1-2 husbands they called, and he got 3-4, and then whatever. It works for them, right? Mm-hmm. And so, but in this video, he's going to make the argument that perhaps that exchange that we're talking about is love, right? And it's not just transaction, that it is, okay, here's what I need, you're providing me with that. Here's what you need, I'm providing you with that because you need it. Not in exchange for this, but this, here's something you need, here's something I need, you're providing me with what I need, I'm providing you with what you need. That is love. Let's play the video and see what we got to say.
Tell me when to push play.
Go ahead, push play.
Ideal relationship community.
Hold up, don't do that. All right, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's play the video and see what we got.
And so, like the whole dowry thing in Africa, like man would give like 15 cows to the family in exchange for marrying a woman.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So because women weren't empowered and allowed to make money and those types of things, we developed traditions like that. But that's not the reality thing in Africa. Like, the reality of the world is powerful people.
My bad.
That's cool.
They get what they want.
Just running back. We good.
Weren't allowed to work. And women used to be perceived as property. And so like the whole dowry thing in Africa, like man would give like 15 cows to the family in exchange for marrying a woman.
Yeah.
So because women weren't empowered and allowed to make money and those types of things, we developed traditions like that. But that's not the reality of the world. The reality of the world is powerful people, they get what they want.
Yeah.
You know, and they can either purchase it or they can leverage connections and friendships to get it or whatever.
Yeah.
So women have to get out of that mindset. And it's important for you to understand that, because the truth of the matter is a lot of women who are in situations with the womb choice, they are going to pay, period.
Money?
They end up paying money, tickets, paying rent, they're paying all that stuff.
Wow.
You know, but your clients might not tell you about that, or they might not make it known to the public. But again, they're seeking what this man has, right?
Yeah.
And they're willing to exchange for it. And what I'm letting you know to tell your clients, et cetera, is that there's nothing wrong with that. You know, if you have the means as a woman to acquire anything that you want, you know, whether that be companionship or a particular kind of companionship or whatever, then you should be willing to exchange. That's the win-win scenario. And for women who have money, if your womb choice needs money or financial support or whatever in exchange for being with you, then you go ahead and give that to him. Because again,
the love can still be there.
That is, to me, that is love. If you're willing to give me what I need. Remember where we live. We live in a society, in an environment where you need resources to survive. We need food, we need shelter, we need clothing, we need medical, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and just think about a mother and her children. You know, why do your children believe that you love them? Because you feed them, you house them, you give them clothes, you know what I'm saying? You do those things. So it's all, that's where we get the love thing from. Okay. What's this person willing to do for me? Those same gurus you talk about who write the books, they'll also say that, you know, a man is willing to give you all these things. Mm-hmm. He's willing not to buy your tickets, but also, you know, help you out with bills and pay to get your hair and nails done sometimes and do this, like doing. Put you up in the house if you know, like some of the people you follow, they'll put you up in the house and he'll, you know, get you a car and he'll let you keep your money. And so he's doing all these things. It's all transactional. That's what people are looking at as real love.
Okay.
And so if somebody came along and gave you $20,000, the guy came along and gave you $20,000, he put you up in a really nice apartment condo or penthouse or something like that, you are going to feel a level of, you know, love for him. It doesn't mean you're going to have sex with him, but you're going to feel something for people who help you out substantially. Weren't allowed to work. And women.
Yeah, man.
Yes, I don't rock with that theory.
Why not? What's wrong with it?
I don't. Let's get to the guest. Let's talk to the guest. I got a different opinion of a whole lot of shit.
Cool. I want to know what that is.
He ended the statement with saying that, you know, you're definitely going to have some level of love for somebody who helped you out substantially. Why? Mm-hmm. Why? Mm-hmm. Right? Because he's bought and paid for. Mm-hmm. So I've seen dude before. Mm-hmm. I've seen him on different scenes with his actual, I don't know what they would call him, his bottom wife, his top wife, the number one wife, I don't know, right? But in the context of seeing them together, he creates this kind of, it creates a paradigm where he's kind of the subservient one in their relationship. And she's the more dominant voice in the relationship. And then again, this is being judgmental, I guess you could say, because I don't know their truth. you know, but it would seem to me that she introduced this entirety of this lifestyle to him. But when he says the shit that he says in here, it makes sense to me because he seems like a subservient kind of motherfucker in the first place. So, yeah, he's okay with being bought and paid for. And this is, again, Toussaint's perspective. And he's okay with being bought and paid for because in my own personal perspective, he seems very beta-ish anyway. You know what I mean? And it's looking for that leg up. It's the proper pronoun shit, right? It's saying, yeah, well, that could be love because it's transactional. In my mind, it don't work that way. And I'm not saying you shouldn't get anything from your partner. You absolutely should. But the bullshit that we base the things that we should get in from our partner is based on a social construct. And he's fully falling into that in my mind.
Sure.
Which is why he comes to the theory of motherfuckers give you something substantially. Of course you're gonna love them. Where the fuck logic do that
Say
come
for
from?
what?
Yeah. What is that? Don't you know?
I
You
feel
hit me
you.
with 20 bands. I don't get. Thanks for the 20 bands.
I don't necessarily love you for
fuck
that.
about you though. Thanks
Right.
for the 20 bands.
Right.
Just like we making jokes or whatever. But we from the neighborhood. We know for a fact when you see a white woman in our neighborhood who's from Minnesota, from Iowa, Minneapolis, you know, all the little areas where everybody go down to hustle at. They getting everything they can from that woman at her expense. They don't give a fuck. They'll leave that woman in the alley on Halsted if they had the chance to. They don't give a shit about that woman.
Yeah.
It's just a resource.
I know a lot of people that's in those relationships.
We all do because we from the neighborhood. That's why I said the states are saying.
Whole
they
lot,
come
whole
from
lot,
the same
whole lot
states.
of brothers from here live in those
Iowas,
Iowas.
Yeah, we all
with
know
white
them.
women. For
yeah,
sure.
I got the lick. She the ticket.
For sure.
Don't give a fuck about that person.
Jules, what did you think about the video?
I think he missed the mark. So that video has a couple of pieces to it as far as I can hear. So I think we do have the experience of loving someone that meets a need for us in a time we need it. There's that whole quote about a friend in need is a friend indeed. So you have these experiences in life where you really need something, somebody shows up in such a way, and it's almost like for the rest of your life or their life, if they call, you'll answer, not because you feel like you owe them something, but they was there for you in that moment. So I can agree with that producing a type of love. But I think what that man was really trying to get to is dealing with this society in which we live in where men have to be a provider. And I think he was trying to undercut that conversation and saying, hey, women, it's okay for us not to be in that group. But I think he missed it. So he didn't really get to the love component. I think sometimes when we love people, we show up for them in such a way and we give gifts. It's natural. That's one of those, what do you call it? That's one of those languages of love. We give gifts.
Yeah.
But it's not about an exchange. And that's why I feel like he really missed the mark. So, but that's a whole nother conversation. I was in a Facebook conversation and I initiated a question. And it was a really engaging and healthy conversation in which women were talking about being in a relationship where they might have been the primary breadwinner. As a matter of fact, one of the guys in the group said that he was going to share that dialogue with his wife because it kind of helped articulate some of what he feels sometimes about not being the primary. But a lot of women said, hey, I paid a bill. I've helped out with a child support note, you know, and things like that. And it's just something that we're comfortable and willing to do in society, regardless of the fact that I guess what we were taught being in America, the standard of, I guess, from our oppressors is that the man is the dominant and he's the primary and this is the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and I think that it can be a genuine, authentic relationship. I think that there can be real feelings and real care and even love for a person, and even in that given construct, where it's like I come over with all of the genuine love, care, and concern for you that I have, right? And we spend quality time, and it's genuine, and it's sincere, and it's not fake, it's not superficial. It's a real fucking thing. And then just when I leave, I just take that little envelope off the dresser. You don't really have to say shit about it.
Where did the envelope come from, her?
You know what? You're right. It's 2021. We don't even need the envelope. You just cash at me.
Just cash at me.
Just cash at me. You know what I mean? We don't even have to talk about it. It don't have to be awkward for you. It don't have to be awkward for me, because I think there is a bit of an awkward nature in that exchange where you can feel like, damn, did I just buy some dick? Or like
But
damn.
you did.
Yeah, but if you don't,
But it has to be about the exchange.
right, you trade it. Not even the trade. Just your needs were met and that person's needs were met.
That's
So,
fine.
I
It
think
doesn't
it's
change the
absolutely
context.
okay. I think it's absolutely okay if that's what works.
Did you
But
just
I
hit a
think-
mood light in there?
There's no moonlight. What happened?
Oh, maybe
No.
just changed on this computer. Never mind. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But I think that there are two ways in which the gifts show up, and sometimes it could be an absolute exchange, and there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what works, how dare us outside of the relationship decide that we should crack on whatever's working for those two people? Because if 2020 didn't teach us anything else, it should have taught us that life is too short for us to try to live life.
Exactly. We ain't got time to be running around, beating around the bush, trying to figure out if I got a good partner or not. I know a good partner. I'm going to take care of some of their needs. They take care of mine. We all good. Like, I don't understand what the problem is. Nobody got time for all that.
The side of that is, I don't want us to minimize quality relationships that happen in which there is the gift giving, but it wasn't about the exchange. It was about the expression
I agree.
of love languages. So both happen, and I don't think there's anything wrong with either. That's my position.
No, I agree
think-
wholeheartedly, though.
Real quick, man. First of all, I think that 5 love languages shit is trash. That's my personal opinion.
I think it's pretty accurate.
I think it's trash.
Okay.
But I think it's trash only in the context. It's accurate in the context of it fits into the transactional way in which we behave anyway, right? So even the point of gift giving being a language, right? if that gift giving is based in some kind of materialistic shit, then it's transactional. Period. Because is it not a gift if I teach you something?
Yes.
That's a gift, right? So, but that's not how that 5 love languages communicates it. So what it does is it fits it into the transactional way which we behave. The shit I'm dealing with, again. So part of how
You got
I
positive
address this
affirmations?
part of how I address this conversation is how do relationships affect community, right? And when you get to the standpoint of this transactional behavior that we have, and the fact that we don't have anything to negotiate with, you're going to absolutely get, specifically when you start looking at the measures of gender in our community, right? You're going to get to the space and place where women are essentially paying for companionship because men don't got really shit out to offer in a transactional normative community, society. When we are black men and at the bottom of that metric scale and black women are just one ring up, but that just one ring up makes a difference. So we don't have shit to really offer you outside of, if we're being true to ourselves, our spiritual connectivity in a good relationship. Now, a nigga that's playing and looking for somewhere to sleep, he gonna be like the other video we played with my man. Beat the doonies off the draws,
right?
And then
You
move the
live
shit
there.
in. You know what I'm saying? Because I need somewhere to sleep.
Right.
But that's not a
Nah.
valuable partnership.
Nah.
That's I'm using you to get my need met. Right? And I think that we operate in such a space of use that we confuse that shit for real affection.
No, and so I'm saying in this instance, I would say that those aren't the same things.
Okay.
Right? So I'm not talking about like, homosexual and I need somewhere to stay, right? I'm saying like I'm really cool by myself. You really cool by yourself, right? But you want me for whatever level of affection and companionship that you desire. Cool. I could use a car payment. You know what I mean?
Then you're not really cool by yourself. No. You're not really cool by yourself.
Okay,
then.
you're talking about either party.
Period.
Nobody's cool by themselves because they need the companionship.
Not at all.
Okay, cool.
Not at all. So one is exchanging companionship, while the other one is exchanging the goddamn car note. So they're both using each other, but let's call it what the fuck it is: prostitution.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, and again, it's semantics, and we can get caught up there if we choose to get caught up
But
there.
it's not really semantics. It's prostitution or it's not.
And I would say that it's maybe.
So here's the thing. I think there's always an exchange. I think that when we talk about anything transactional, we're trivializing it unjustly. In physics, no two things can occupy the same place at the same time. Point blank, period, simple, the end. So if I have love and I deposit it someplace else, that leaves a space in which it can be redeposited back into me. It's always going to be exchanged. But we don't have to refer to it as transactional and minimize it.
No, I feel you. Like I just, again, I'm real. Do whatever you're gonna do, right? And so if it's within your realm of acceptance to be like, yeah, I'm willing to use my resources to secure my desires, then cool. Use your resources to secure your desires. I don't really see anything wrong with that. I just
And I have
don't.
a question though. So does it always have to be the exchange in the material sense? For example, if there is a true enjoyment of the other person's company, let's say she can't pay the car note,
Sure.
are you still going to spend that time if you like that person?
Yeah, absolutely. Like all of those things are real things. All of those things can exist. I'm just saying in this particular construct when we're talking about, actually using your financial resources to secure companionship, I don't see nothing wrong with that either. But yeah, people together all the time because they genuinely like each other. You know what I mean? Like I just genuinely like being around you. You genuinely like being around me. We be around each other, right? I don't need anything in exchange for that. That's just, how it is. All I'm saying is that if people choose to do it in a different way, then who the fuck are we to be like, that's not an okay thing to do? Like that's all I'm saying. Like do whatever you want.
I think it's very important to do what you want in the constructs of not being.
You pay for convenience. I think people pay for convenience.
Sometimes I don't know if that do whatever you want is really healthy though, right?
Well, I mean, in the context of not harming anybody else.
Yeah, but I don't even mean it just in that context. I think the very nature of human is to avoid pain, and the very necessity of utilizing pain as growth. We avoid that shit. So it becomes easier, like we said, we paying for her not to do whatever she's doing. We paying for her to leave. Well, that's avoiding the pain of whatever your insecurity is.
Sure.
And essentially, if this journey is about becoming whole human beings, then you got to walk through the goddamn pain. And that I do whatever I want philosophy is how we justify avoiding the pain of our realities.
Sure.
And that creates the cyclical, circular view that we have of relationships. The motherfucker who needs that car note paid, you do need that car note paid if you need a car. So man the fuck up or woman the fuck up and figure out what it takes to get there instead of exploiting other people. Now I'm not saying, but whatever it is that's preventing you from doing that is based on some level of insecurity for yourself. Because maybe you just ain't ready to have a car. And you got to deal with the reality of I ain't ready to have a car instead of using other people. Okay. But that's what I mean about the transactional way in which we approach relationship.
So what if what if we're overusing the word need, right? And so what if I can pay my own fucking car note, right? But you want something from me that I can provide. I want something from you too that you can provide.
So this really breaks down for me then. What is
I can
the
pay
value
for it myself.
What is the value of relationship? What are you trying to get out of a relationship?
See, I think you're talking about two different things now.
Okay.
Right? And so if you're talking about this relationship where we're gonna end up married with kids and a dog, then that's a different thing. Right? But if we're talking about a relationship that is built on, pure interactions, right? Sincere love, sincere care, whatever it is, and we just spend these moments together, then fuck it. Like there's no real detriment long term to that type of arrangement. Not that I can see anyway. Maybe y'all see it differently.
Well, I don't understand what would be different about any relationship as it relates to expressing need. We all have needs, and I think that if you're in a quality relationship, even a quality friendship, you should be able to say, I need. I can go to my sisters and say, I need my car note. And that's just what it is. Right. So why do we not feel comfortable saying that to a partner that we call ourselves loving?
So again, I do think we are having different conversations, and I mean it in this sense.
I agree.
If you ask somebody what do they want out of a relationship, most of the time what you get is what they don't want out of a relationship, right? That's the usual response. Well, I want somebody to be loyal to me, or I want somebody to not cheat on me, or whatever the bullshit is. But when you ask them what they really want out of a relationship, or what is the goal that they have in having a healthy relationship, most people can't even answer that question. So what it becomes is some feel-good shit. I want to spend time with. I want to be able to have sex with.
Yes.
But there's a spiritual connectivity and a spiritual meaning behind relationship. There really is. Right? And it's not just to get married, because that's some Euro-Western shit.
Sure.
And I'm married, but I fully understand. Right? It's the Jordans.
You know I get it
what
too.
I'm saying?
Right.
It's the Jordans. But at the same time, this is a journey that is supposed to help every relationship, whether it ends in marriage or whatever the fuck. Part of the relationship is the main basis of that relationship is to school you about yourself. It's a mirror. It's a classroom. Here's what you're supposed to learn about yourself. And if we're not open to learning that shit because we're only going in as a negotiation, then we never elevate past that first level classroom. Because our goal is being met and just getting all we can get out the motherfucker. We ain't looking at the spiritual side of the shit. True. How can I get, and even if it ain't something material, it's can I get the most dick I can get? Can I get the most pussy I can get?
Sure.
Can I get the most shoes I can get?
Sure.
But you're not getting anything spiritually, which is why, in my opinion, again, our community is in shambles. It goes back to the social norm, right? And the social norm is your value is fully equated to what you have, right? Hence, why the value of man is provider and protector, right? That's why as we get older, that cute shit don't mean nothing. How you look don't mean shit to a woman. What do you bring to the table? That's the conversation. And when it's what do you bring to the table, it is not no spiritual shit. It is not character. It is not intellect.
No.
It is what do you bring to the table tangibly.
Right. And so if that's how we practice relationship in the long-term committed forms of relationship, then what would be the problem in acting that way in short-term individual experiences?
I don't have a personal problem with it, but it becomes prostitution. I just say let's be honest about it.
So short-term prostitution, long-term prostitution, the same is the same, right?
Still prostitution.
Right.
Yeah.
So earlier we talked about the billionaires, right? And having is that prostitution?
I can't answer that question just off that article because I don't know why those women are engaged with those guys. I don't know how they met. I don't know they engaged. I don't know none of that. Now the way the article is written, it's written to promote prostitution. Hey, baby, if you can't get this motherfucker, you can get this motherfucker, and he got this, which i.e. makes him valuable. So it's written to support prostitution.
Okay,
sure.
Jules, what were you about to say?
Well, I was listening to what you were saying earlier about that whole connection. And any type of connection, you got to be healthy enough to know what you need. You might not be in a good space to be in a relationship, but you can still grow and kind of take on an interaction or a relationship with somebody and grow through that, but be clear about not wanting to build with them. And I think that's okay too. But in order to articulate, a lot of us don't even know what we need to begin with and can articulate that to a person. So for me, going back to coming out of my divorce, I had to be clear about knowing that I didn't want a relationship just yet. Even when I was starting to date, not date, but interact, engage, whatever, I had to be clear about articulating that to people showing up in my space. And I think that's important, but you got to be healthy enough to do that. You have to spend enough time with self to enable yourself to articulate to others what you need. And it takes practice. It's not something that's automatic. It's not something overnight. Because even when you know what you need, sometimes you're not confident enough to articulate that. And I think that's one of the detriments that show up in how we engage with one another and causes a lot of trauma in male-female relationships especially.
Okay, cool. Well, we are going to take a break right here. When we come back to, you mentioned something that I kind of want to jump into a little bit, and that's this idea of, is this dynamic unhealthy for the collective, right? For the collective community. That is why we have Relationship Friday Talks. We believe that we got to get the foundation of our communities in order in terms of that relationship dynamic. Does that then make this particular dynamic unhealthy for the community? If so, then that may be something that will cause me to reconsider. Because on an individual level, person to person, I don't see a single thing wrong with it. If you can tell me that this is somehow inherently unhealthy for the community, that may be something I can listen to and be like, okay, that may make some sense. So I want to have that conversation on the other side of this break. Jules, you said you didn't hit no moonlights, but your whole entire room is illuminating green right now. Do you see that or no?
Yeah, it sure looks like some moonlights.
You say what?
I said I'll work on another break. I definitely look like, what is it, Gazoo?
Okay, cool. I didn't know if that was like some technology thing or you actually hit like a green light. Also, if you have some headphones, grab those because we're having a little bit of a hard time hearing you as well. If not, that's cool. But let's figure out what's going on with the mood lights. This is I Say What I Said. Herb 2 till 6. We are joined by Juliet Scott. We'll be right back.
WIFTBPM. Hey, Chicago, you know we've all been impacted by COVID, especially in our communities. Help protect Chicago. We need everyone to stay safe and get the facts about the COVID-19 vaccine. Visit the What's in it for the Black People Media Facebook page and www.chicago.gov/COVIDVax for the facts.
Shout out to the Bigs. They just wrapped up another edition of On the Soil. They talked to Eric Davis. I didn't know that brother was like all that cold.
I didn't either.
You know, Gino is the baseball
guy,
expert, right? So whatever he say, that's how I'm rolling. So just hearing how he's been talking about him since they actually scheduled that interview made me like look like how cold was this dude? It's legit.
Shout out to Don for the guest. Look.
Yeah, Don is the deal, G.
Guest look is outrageous.
Don is the plug.
Fellas, I'm ready to get up and do my thing. She is the plug.
Don is dead at the plug.
Gino and Mace. Why are we being left out over here?
Well, that's not really true.
Okay, well, break it down for me.
Oh, a wise guy, eh?
What'd she do? She set us up with Scoop.
Okay.
I've had Scoop's number for a while.
Salute.
But even like my I'm associated with, Don is like, boom. You know what I'm saying? So I be like, hey, let's get you on the show sometime. I'm like, yeah, let's set it up. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it. We'll do. Don like, hey, yo, I need you on the show tomorrow. Like, okay.
Sit your $5 down before I make change.
Like, it's different. It's different with the big little sis, man.
The last of the Gambinos or something.
For real. She about that action. So shout out to Don, man. Shout out to the Book of Don.
WIFTBPM.
Hey, yo, Ren, turn that up.
Like that chronic, I need something stronger. Molly cute, that's like an aspirin for my daughter. Big time in the club with a case of Ace, and now I sniff that whole table. Scarface, another court case. I'm a frequent offender. When Wyclef was hot, I was gone to November. 6 years, hard time. Bobby was fucking up. Whitney could have
been mad.
We would have been so high. So in love. When Amy Winehouse died,
I could have saved her.
I could have
smoked like half of that.
What she had to go?
Had to go to
cardiac arrest.
Custody for her breasts.
Oh my goodness, this is trash. You could get that from Fergie.
I got the free throw.
I stay hard.
Was joking my pee hole.
Yes. It's an occupational necessity when you out here.
About that life. About that life. If you really about that life.
One day I'm gonna stand on this table for Test Your Work. Big Lavender gonna run in here. Test your work.
I want that shit that made Britney shave her head. I want that shit made DMX say he a fed. I want that shit that had Amanda Bonds tweaking. I want that shit Lance Armstrong compete with. I'm a winner by any means. You dig me? Praise Angelina Jolie, but when it condemn me, keep trying to play me like I'm a loser. Biggest sales first week, Robert Downey Jr. I remember even Oprah got high.
This.
You thought I forgot? Was Diesel. Lamar.
Oh my God.
My people.
Drew Barrymore. You liked it raw. Me, I liked it cooked with Armor Hammer on it. One time, can't lie, was Keith Ledger high. But on that Samuel L. Jackson, that crack high.
Everything is for sale, Adrian. Make it rain. I'll stand on this table right now.
You ain't really
About that life.
Meek Mills, keep it real.
Let me test your work.
Joey Crack, where it's at. Let me tell
That
you.
Mark said even Oprah got high. You thought I forgot? This shit is funny.
Hey, he actually he's actually penning some stuff. It's actually some bars in this song. That's what's so funny about it. Like, as trash as it is, the penmanship ain't bad on this track. G. Like,
It's dope. It's ratchet as fuck.
it is ratchet as fuck. It don't get any more ratchet than that, man. Listen, if you are just tuned in, this is I Said What I Said. We are live from the What's in It for the Black People Media Studios alongside Toussaint Warner. My name is Herb Howard. Thank y'all so very, very much for tuning in. We truly, truly appreciate y'all. Shout out to everybody that is watching on Facebook. Shout out to everybody that is watching on YouTube. And if you are watching this show later in the evening, we appreciate y'all coming through and checking out the show as well. It is intellectual thuggery at its absolute finest. We are absolutely aware that y'all could literally be doing anything else. The fact that y'all are here with us is not something that we take for granted. We appreciate each and every one of you. Please, y'all, listen, if you haven't done so already, follow the Iswis Pod page on Instagram. Iswis Pod on Instagram. Follow the Iswis Pod page on Instagram. And please, 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 if you haven't had an opportunity to do so, take a quick moment to share the broadcast. Thank y'all so much for coming on over to the What's in It for the Black People Media page. I know it's been a little bit tricky. People trying to come over from the Maze Jackson page now to the What's in It for the Black People Media page. But we glad y'all here. We appreciate y'all so very, very much. Thank each and every one of y'all for tuning in, for continuing to allow this conversation to grow. We appreciate y'all. Don't matter if you Iswiz OGs like Adrian and Nicole and others, or if this is your very, very first time tuning in to I Said What I Said, we appreciate y'all so very, very much. Thank y'all for being here. This is a Relationship Friday, and on Fridays we talk relationships from different aspects of it. And so we've had conversations with strippers. We've had conversations with sex workers. We've had conversations with married folk. We've had conversations with single folk. We're having a conversation today about the growing trend of women paying for penis, participating in the Rent-A-Dick Ponzi scheme. No, and so that is the conversation that we're having, and we're absolutely thrilled to be joined by Juliet Scott. She is kind enough to come in and share not only her personal experience as it relates to relationships, but also her opinions on this growing trend. She seems to be a little bit more open-minded than my closed-minded co-host, but we know that he don't be open to shit. So it just is what it is. Jules, thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule to hang out with us. We appreciate it.
I'm a little concerned now about the context. I don't want to be the expert on paying for penis.
I didn't say you were an expert. I just said that you weren't throwing those people under the bus as harshly as Toussaint throws them under the bus. That's all I'm saying.
Well, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate keeping it with the family from the side.
Yeah, no, it's our pleasure.
I don't think I threw them under the bus. I just called spades spades. That's all. If that's throwing them under the bus, then you shouldn't be acting in that behavior. If you don't want the moniker, don't be the motherfucker.
Yeah, no, I don't think people who would participate in such a lifestyle would care, right? But
they do care, which is why they try to justify it, right? That's why there's the push to justify the sex worker. They do care. Everybody cares.
Okay.
Right? The image of the things that they buy off the shit that they do in sex work for, they care because they're trying to fit into the social norm. They care. So to say they don't care is a falsehood too.
Okay.
They care. But
not so much to where they stop doing what they're doing though.
They just probably don't have another fucking skill set. They don't have another value.
I like that, Desmond. Rent-A-Gent. That might be what I go with.
Yeah, they might not have another skill set.
Might have to cut you a piece, a percentage, Desmond, for that name.
And as the economy gets tighter and tighter to participate in, you're going to use what you have to get what you want, right? And that's sickening. Instead of addressing the goddamn economy itself, and that's the problem. And that's how slavery has always worked, right? You at the bottom of the barrel, I could do to you as I please, and that's exactly what's happening right now. We don't even recognize that we're being controlled into making these kind of decisions.
What if it's purely choice motivated?
I don't say that. I would never say that couldn't exist, right? But here's a great example, and I'm only using woman because we had this conversation yesterday, right? We talked about the singer sister, the one I said I like a lot. What's her name? No, Erykah Badu.
Okay,
Right? We talked about Erykah Badu. She has XYZ history, of at least public history, with the 3 different baby fathers, right? Now, I don't know what she really does, and 3 men ain't no whole lot of men. Maybe they bust and she had babies by all of them on the first time. Who knows? I don't know. But she doesn't get hit with the moniker of being a prostitute, right? And I said that she doesn't get hit with that moniker because she's operating in the fullness of her feminine capacity, in the fullness of her feminine energy. She's not running from it. She's not denying it. This is what it is. This is what it is because this is how I get out. And I live my whole life in this manner. And nobody judges her for that at all, right? But there's a different thing when you attach that kind of a behavior to the material outcome. Then you are a hoe. And it's not just in regards to like sex. This shit it permeates in every level of our behavior. It's the shit that we talk about when black men have to capitulate to get a goddamn job. When you change your voice, when the motherfucking phone rings and shit and become this docile motherfucker that you really ain't because you need to get to that check. So you change your whole behavior.
Sure.
You a hoe too.
Agreed.
You're not living in the fullness of your spirit. And that is how we are dominated from the rooter to the tutor. So assume that shit doesn't play out in every capacity of life is false. But we got to pay attention in the sense of like our children are growing up on the internet, if we being honest.
For real.
Right? That's their community, the social community. Right? And now prostitution is viewed to that community as well. Right? And there aren't very many barriers. So when you start talking about on the individual level, like it doesn't really harm anybody, I beg to differ. But it doesn't harm as many people.
Okay.
But when it becomes the social norm, it's very, very alarming because it makes everything okay. And that's what I mean when I said that sometimes you're doing what you feel like. No, that ain't always okay. That ain't always okay.
Okay.
It has to be some standards. It has to be some rules. There has to be some barriers. If there are no rules, then this shit could go, it is what it is. And that's not healthy.
But what do we say about rules, right? It's just based on power, who's in control, right? And so I'm saying probably, by and large, most people that are driven to that profession would be driven there out of some necessity or some other kind of brokenness, right? Financially broke or emotionally, spiritually broken, right? But I do want to leave open the very real possibility and reality for some people that it's just a choice. This is just, if I got to have a job, if I got to go to work, I would rather do this for work than do any other thing for work. And I think that's a possibility too. And I think that we should allow them space to exist in that realm. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know that anybody that chooses to do something with their life needs our permission to do whatever that thing is. Like prostitution has been around since the beginning of time. And even if there is an offshoot of it, which we're not labeling prostitution, if that's what it is, that's what it is. And nobody's going to ask for permission to do that. It's going to be that. I do agree with Toussaint as it relates to the value of relationship and the value of growing with a person, because I think nothing else matters until we can fix the relationship piece, because we're not going to come together and do much of anything until it happens. And that's just the reality. So if this thing gets in the way of that happening because it's a short-term solution and people get in the habit of that short-term solution and all of a sudden stop working for that long-term thing, yeah, we're going to be continuing to function at a deficit.
So, all right, I because I agree with y'all. Again, the whole purpose of this is to build a solid foundation on which we can then build on top of that sustainable communities. How does this prevent us from being able to do that? How is this detrimental to that cause? How is this unhealthy for the greater good of the collective in terms of building strong, self-sustainable communities?
Well, in my opinion, if that gets to be the habit and that's the easy fix, then we're not going to do the rest of the work. We're just going to keep going for the quick fix. Quick fix are easy and they're satisfying. So that would be the detriment. Now, I don't have to. And especially as Toussaint mentioned, the brothers are winning. Like it's the numbers wise. You guys hold the best hand. So if you all are largely advocate of this, that leaves us as women in a really bad position.
I dig it. So I don't know if you necessarily agree with Tucson though, right? I don't know. The brothers are winning in regards to having their choice of woman.
Mm-hmm.
They are not winning in having their choice of life,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mhm.
And I think that's what we got to get to when we start thinking about community, right? So when we start thinking about how is it problematic or is it not problematic?
Sure.
It's problematic in the sense, in the context of it's selfish.
Mhm.
And the very nature of humanity
Mhm.
has to be selfless, right? So I tell you all the time, like when I met my child for the first time, nothing else mattered.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Nothing else mattered.
Right.
I would have gave up oxygen the minute I met that boy,
Mhm.
because nothing else mattered. Right? And that was the first time in my life I'd ever experienced that feeling. Not
Right.
to say that I've never loved or
Sure.
no one's loved me.
But
But that was some different shit. Right?
Pure
Unadulterated.
No, unadulterated. But I was thinking of what do you call it? Like
I don't know.
Love. What? Whatever. I'm tweaking. Unconditional. Thank you.
Yeah,
Jesus
okay,
Christ.
fine. But context is important, right? That's my son. You know what I mean? And we got to have context to who Tucson is itself, right? Now, I'm just laying some basic shit out. Tucson grew up in a household where I had a mother and a father. Struggled with the relationship with my mother, but my father was a God to me. You know what I mean? So with that being said, and I grew up on the south side of Chicago in the goddamn 80s and 90s. So all of my peers, I was an anomaly. Ain't nobody had no fucking daddy. That he didn't exist. Matter of fact, my daddy played daddy to all the niggas in my neighborhood.
Fact.
You know what I mean? So early on, that set a precedence in my mind that I would never abandon my children because I knew the value that shit had in my life. Then you get into this relationship with this woman and shit is way different than how you figuratively saw it, right? But because I had that kind of a rearing, it kind of created a structure in my mind that I got to, through all costs, I got to work through this, right? And as I grow, I come to different understandings. This is a classroom. A lot of the shit that I was mad at her about was really just reflections of shit I was doing myself. But I had to grow the fuck up in that moment, and I couldn't be selfish and run from the pain of the relationship. I had to grow through it.
Right.
When I look at the vast majority of us, because we don't have that kind of an anchoring, the minute some shit don't fulfill our very basic as transactional need, that feeds my own ego and my own selfishness, we the fuck up out of there. And it doesn't produce nothing but more brokenness.
Agreed.
And when you start having the damn goal of selfishness, I just want to negotiate my ass to get me this car. Or I want to negotiate my ass to get me a bigger ass. Like, we don't even get, think about how stupid this shit is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's real.
Like, we don't even have real tangible fucking goals, but we cannot deny the fact that children are being produced out these unions, and it's creating a mindset that this is the only value of this shit anyway. This pussy can get me a new booty, right? Or this dick can get me a PS5. That's some stupid shit. It's stupid. Regardless of the social norm, the universal law say we need each other. That's what the universal law say, right? If you're a Christian, a Muslim, a Buddha, you follow any of that shit.
Right.
The union you create is to create new life.
Right.
To sustain this goddamn universe. Not to get Jordans. But we've bought into the same capitalist, white, Caucasoid philosophy that things are more important than people. Now we just use people to get the things. And we start to justify the shit, whatever new name we want to put on the shit, whatever new label we want to put on the shit. It don't justify it though. It's just a lie on top of another lie on top of another lie. The outcome's gonna always be the same. Dysfucking function. Period.
Exactly.
I believe.
Go ahead, Jules.
Go ahead. So I believe that absolutely there's a dysfunction there. That's how we're looking at it. But I think that there's another side to this. I think that part of that is survival, in some degree, because we do need companionship. And if the process of finding a quality relationship is not working, then this other thing might. And their selfishness is bad, but there is value to loving others as yourself, which implies you have to have a certain level of self to be able to be healthy and functional, period. And so that means that you have to identify your needs and your wants. And that means that you have to be deliberate as it relates to having a certain quality of life about those things showing up.
I think that's a very, very real and legitimate perspective to have on it. Like a lot of things, like I'm struggling to find the correlation, right? And so I get you in the piece of, you know, talking about having children in these type of fucking unions and all this kind of shit, right? And how detrimental that can be to the overall health of the community. But outside of that, I don't know that there's a direct. And I wish we weren't so damn aspirational to attain like material things. I wish we weren't like that. But that's the world that we live in. Like you need stuff
and you
in this
got a
world.
choice, right? And that's what I said the other day, right? The universe needs us. You got a choice. You can either accept the world that you live in or strive to change the motherfucker. But see, in this world that we live in, we are at the bottom of the construct. Black people are at the bottom of the construct, right? So we have the least. And if the very narrative is based on what you have and we have the least but the greatest level of aspiration, then we will do the most savage shit to get to any version of having more. Right? So when you say, all right, I get it. If it's children, yeah, I can see how that fucks us up. But even if it's just yourself, it fucks you up. And when you fucked up, you bring that energy to other situations. Right? If you the little niggas that's on the corner that could take a life, you got to go through some shit to take a life.
Oh yeah, you can't just wake up and kill them.
That ain't just innate in our nature.
People that
so
pop
some
off and
shit
think
that
that
already
killing
happened to you, that already fucked you up, to create a value set in you to say, hey, I have no value, so you have no value. Because that's the only way you can kill a motherfucker. If you don't see them as valuable.
It's Bishop at the locker talking to Q. Nigga,
I already know I ain't shit.
I ain't shit.
When as
soon as I decide you ain't shit, pow,
pow.
nigga. Like that's, you know what I mean?
And it's pervasive. It's not just in guys. It might be exhibited in the young boys and when they go shoot up shit. Right? But it's exhibited in women in other ways. It's exhibited in the woman that's giving her body away to get a bigger ass.
Right.
That's your value, little mama?
Right.
Every picture you take your head looking away from the camera?
Right.
That's your value, little mama?
Right.
Come on, baby. You better than that.
Yeah.
Why is she going for the bigger ass? So is she going?
Because in this social
that's her
norm,
value set.
That's my value set.
But what is she looking for? Is she looking for love in all the wrong places?
She is looking for love.
Attention and money and
but
shit.
that's part of it, though, right? That's what we've confused. We've confused attention for love. That's why the dude got the fucking Bentley, because everybody looking. That ain't love, my nigga. It's attention.
That's it.
That big old ass that looks re-fucking-tarded, that ain't love. You a fucking circus clown.
But it's going. But that's a faster way to me to be able to stand on the couch in VIP with niggas that's throwing dope. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because we've created a paradigm where the value of our lives is materialism.
Absolutely,
my brother. I don't know in that context if it's all. And I'm not saying because I don't know her and I have, and every her is not the same her, but if her esteem says I have to have this attention, it's not about the capitalism, it's not about the materialism, it's about being able to be in a space where you feel loved and welcome, whatever version of that is.
So I agree with you up into a point. And I mean that in this context. Again, we can say that, but then if we get to the core of value sets in America, it is about things. So every time you turn on the television, right? We just had a goddamn national election. And the overwhelming, pervasive conversation about the inauguration was how fly everybody was. Ain't a motherfucker there talking about no goddamn legislation. Ain't nobody talking about reparations. Ain't nobody talking about shit concerned with politics. We only discussed things. So to a very rudimentary ass mind, the only thing of value in that whole situation was how fly them motherfuckers was. That's it. We don't know nothing about the process. Right. We don't know nothing about the benefits or the value of it.
Right.
All we know about was the presentation. We are all caught up in the show.
The inauguration is all symbolism, though.
But that's the inauguration, but it ain't no fucking different than the rap video. How many rap videos do you see that tell a story versus how many rap videos do you see that motherfuckers driving this very expensive whip and throwing some money around?
That's it.
Right? We're magnetized to things because we have equated things to our value set. So the motherfucker at the inauguration is going to wear this monochromatic $8 billion ass jacket that's very fly. The motherfucker from O Block is going to shoot up everybody because that gets my name ringing, but it's the same shit. Pay me some attention. Which has nothing to do with the core of our being. You valuable, my nigga, because you breathing oxygen. That's all it takes to be valuable.
Yeah.
Your motherfucker lungs open up and close.
Yeah.
You're valuable, my G.
Yeah.
Period.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm with you when you're right, brother, and you are definitely spitting, and a lot of people are agreeing with you and saying preach to and teach to. So I'm with you when you're right, my brother. Jules, anything else from you? I'm gonna let you go here in the next couple minutes, but I want to give you an opportunity for any closing remarks on this particular discussion.
Well, I appreciate that opportunity.
Yeah, we gotta get you in the studio again too soon. When we go back to having guests in studio, we'll get you back into the studio.
Yeah, Jules, you was getting a lot of praise, man. I wanted to communicate more clearly with you. I was struggling to hear you. It's a little air in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. But one of the things too you brought up earlier, the fact that we don't have choice, black men don't have choice, and I think one of the things that we do is check out, and that looks like us being consumed by capitalism and material things, because that's the thing that's easiest for us to grab onto and make our world okay, because we can't deal with the powerlessness that shows up. And so I think that that's something that needs to be considered in that piece. But I really enjoy hanging out with you guys this afternoon. And I look forward to the next go round and staying tuned in. And I enjoy the Iswis family.
It is our pleasure. Thank you so much for taking the time. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. Look forward to having you back in here with us sometime real soon. Y'all, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back. We will spend the last 30 minutes of the conversation talking about a couple things. Did you know that Denzel was acknowledged as the greatest actor of the 21st century? I learned that on the Book of Dawn this morning. So I want to have a quick little conversation about Denzel. Maybe a quick top five. I love a top five conversation. I'm always here for it. So when I was watching the BLD, I was like, well, maybe we can do a top five Denzel movie. So y'all get y'all top five Denzel movie list together. We're gonna have that conversation on the other side of this break. This is I Said What I Said. Herb 2 for another half hour. We'll be right back.
WIIFTBPM. Media's just for you and me. WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me.
Tune in every Sunday. Don't miss it. Live from the West Center for the Black People Media Studios. It is the Kickoff Kickback. Join the conversation with the brothers, Eugene McIntosh, Herb Howard, and myself, Terrence Tomlin.
We got analysis live from the stadium. The brother Joe Lewis will be following through. We got great guests coming in, players, personnel, people.
Say what? We do our thing every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, taking you right up to kickoff.
We picking the full slate of NFL games. We talking fantasy football. Gino got you covered on all the bets. It's a kickback.
Make sure y'all join the conversation. Smash that like button, smash that share button, and continue to help us push the culture forward.
Don't miss it every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, live here from the West Center for the Black People Media Studios.
Hey, yo, Ren, turn that up.
You know, same old church. Jump in a whip just to take me a ride. Roll up just to ease my mind. Nice them that lost my life. Ain't been the same since bro them died. Jump in a whip just to take me a ride. Hold up just to ease my mind. Bitch, and she on the passenger side. Hold up, come and catch this vibe. Jump in a whip just to take me a ride. Roll up just to ease my mind. Nice them that lost my life. Ain't been the same since bro them died. And the whip just to take me a ride. Hold up just to ease my mind. Bitch, and she on the passenger side. Hold up, come and catch this vibe. It's what you play in your ride. Stuff a wood with a 3-5. Then you go live.
Welcome back, family. We are live from the What's in It for the Black People Media Studios alongside Tucson Warner. My name is Herb Howard. This is I Said What I Said. It is intellectual thuggery at its absolute finest, especially on a Relationship Friday. That is when we try to find that delicate balance of intellect and thuggery. Today, too, you were complete intellect. And
That's what I do.
As I tend to be on Fridays.
Like I said the other day, man, I debate with my
It's
equals.
intellectual fuckery on
I
Fridays.
debate with my equals and I teach the rest.
Debate with my equals and I teach the rest. Well, thanks for the lesson today, sir.
Nah, I'm just fucking.
Thanks for the lesson today, Professor. You was spitting, as they say. But anyway, man, thank y'all so much for tuning in. We greatly appreciate y'all. I told y'all I was watching the Book of Dawn this morning. Another dope page in the Book of Dawn. Make sure y'all checking that out every single weekday, 9 a.m. right after the Ruthie Moore Show. You can catch the Book of Dawn every single weekday. And Dawn had on the dope Roll Tide hoodie today, Alabama hoodie today. It looked fire. I don't know. But anyway, she mentioned that Denzel Washington was acknowledged, I think in the New York Times or something like that, as the greatest actor of the 21st century.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's dope. I think that's bomb. I think it's accurate, right? Now, you can get into a little anytime you're talking about art, you're talking subjectively, right? So different people can have different favorites or whatever, but I just think that if there has to be some objective nature to how you go about rating these people, and you look at his body of work, and it's hard to argue against him. Now you can put up bodies of work, say, Tom Hanks or Robert De Niro or what's Leonardo DiCaprio, right? These people have some catalogs, right? They've got some skins on the wall as well. But I look at Denzel's catalog, and it is unrivaled in my personal opinion. And so I didn't put any thought into this, even though I know I wanted to have this conversation about what my 5 favorite Denzel movies are. But off the top of my head, first of all, Training Day might be my favorite movie ever, period, right? Like right up there with like Coming to America, like it's up there. So Training Day would be one for me. Remember the Titans is another good movie. I loved him as Coach Boone. American Gangster, he was really, really good as Frank Lucas. I like Antoine Fisher. He wasn't the star of that movie, but Antoine Fisher, Malcolm X, that's another really good one, Candace. Malcolm X is good. Philadelphia, American Gangster. What'd you say, Ron? Ron, you got a mic, bro. It's right there.
John Q?
Yeah, John Q. John Q is definitely a good one. So I think that might
Have you ever seen
that might be my
Magnificent? Have you ever seen Magnificent Seven?
I just saw that come up because I had to Google this.
Have
shit.
you ever seen? Oh yeah.
I don't know. You were saying another movie to Dawn earlier today too. You was talking about some movie with
Roman J. Israel Esquire.
Yeah, Esquire. You were saying
Yeah, you gotta
check
watch
that one out.
too.
I also like what was the submarine movie? When he was like the submarine captain. What was that called? Crimson Tide? Crimson? I think it was called Crimson.
I don't see that.
Yeah, it was called Crimson. I'm talking about Crimson Tide because Dawn got me. It actually might have been. No, I think it was just Crimson. But anyway, I would go with Training Day, American Gangster, Remember the Titans, Antoine Fisher, and I don't know. He's so damn good. All his shit be good, bro.
So I got
Pelham 1, 2, 3. Like all them shits was good as hell. Glory.
Yeah,
it's too much. It's too hard. Like it's unbelievable how many phenomenal movies this dude has been in.
Yeah, but I got a different perspective, right? Like I don't know I don't pay attention to actors like that. Like if you get and I'm not saying this is the top tier, but it's like rare that actors get my attention, right? So at first, the first question I thought you was asking me was who are the top 5 black actors, and it was
Fences.
like 2 dudes that came to my mind, which was Jeffrey Wright and my man Omar from The Wire. I can't think of his name. Like them is my favorite actors. Like the niggas they play, I'd be like,
his name is Williams. Something Williams.
Yeah, I don't know, but when they play somebody, I'd be like, I believe it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in regards to like Denzel, I don't know. He don't move me in the same way
Really?
those 2 dudes do.
Really?
But not to say I'm not a fan.
I feel you.
I'm a fan of all of the works, but
Bone Collector.
it's not like he stands
Michael
out
K.
to me
Williams.
in that
What
way.
Better Blues? Michael K. Williams. That's his name. That's
So when you ask me like what was the top 5, I had to go Google Denzel movies.
He got game. Hell yeah, Tiger.
So when I looked at the Google listing, these would be my top 5s out of the Google listing. Mo Better Blues was the shit, and I'm more looking at it in how I like the movie, not just his performance.
Fences was trash. DJ, you tweaking.
Mo Better Blues was one. He Got Game was one. Malcolm X. Wait, Mo Better Blues, Malcolm X. He Got Game. And Fences. And what's the other one? This one right here. What is it right here? The Great Debaters. And I know they was just
The Great Debaters.
movies.
Yes.
But whoever said Fences was trash is retarded. Fences was probably the favorite of all the movies I named, in my opinion.
DJ high, that's all.
You know.
No, I think like his catalog is crazy. Darius said talking about my nigga, and that's one of my favorite things about Training Day too. It's my nigga. You know what I'm saying? How he just keeps saying that throughout the movie. I learned like last week that my nigga was never written into the script of Training Day. It was never. That
was the Malcolm's I Have a Dream.
Exactly. That was just him kind of freestyling, improvising in the middle of the set, in the middle of the take, and it was like it just worked, and so they just keep it, and he just kept doing it. But my nigga was never written into that. That was just Denzel being brilliant. You know, what was also not written into Training Day was that last scene when he go on that monologue when he's right there in the middle of Jordan Downs projects out there in LA, and he's doing all that shit like I run shit here. I'm the police. You know what I'm saying? I'm King Kong. Right? You know what I'm saying? You just live here. All of that shit, completely unscripted.
I like the American Gangster better than Training Day.
King Kong ain't got shit on me. Never was written into that script. All of that was just Denzel freestyling. You like what better than Training Day?
American Gangster. On some gangster shit.
American Gangster better than Training Day?
Like when he was in the middle of the street in Harlem, shot dude dead in the head, was like, what you gonna do? Pow, kept it pushing. I was like, that's some gangster ass
Then he
shit.
took the bread out, put it in his dead shirt pocket.
That's some gangster shit right
20%.
there. Yeah, that's some gangster shit right there. I kind of appreciated that.
That's what I like about Denzel. He always so damn smooth with it. Dude came in there, interrupted his breakfast with this bullshit, talking about 20%. And you knew when he was going to kill him. As soon as the same dude who played Stringer Bell, Idris Elba, as soon as Idris Elba was like, Bumpy's fucking dead, right? You knew he was going to kill him. When he was like, man, even Bumpy didn't take 20%. You take 20%, you put me out of business, maybe somebody else you know out of business. He's like, Bumpy's fucking dead. I'm the landlord in Harlem now, and I say the rent is 20%. He looked at me in his face. He wiped his mouth with his napkin real cool. Dipped out. I was like, that's a dead man walking right there. He's going to die, right? Called his whole family down there, all these country niggas that ain't even seen New York. They sitting there. He get up from the breakfast table in the middle of eating. Like, I'll be right back.
Here's what's funny about that, though. Common was T.I.'s daddy in that movie.
Yeah. he gonna catch the ground. T.I. is such a terrible actor. I love T.I. Like I feel like T.I. is my partner. I feel like T.I. is my homie. Like I like T.I. a lot. But he is a terrible actor. Whether we talking about movies or his videos, he just overacts every fucking thing. I'm like, dude, stop it. Anyway, Denzel. That's what. So you said that, you know, when you see Michael K. Williams who played Omar in The Wire, when you see him, like you believe that whoever he is, like if I see him, I might just do like this. Like I might be like, Omar coming. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I believe
whatever character he played, Chalky White, when he was that dude, he just plays shit to a T. G. It's like, for me, that guy stands out. And the other guy was Jeffrey Wright, the dude who played Martin Luther King.
Okay.
He was in Shaft. He was like the little Hispanic gangster in Shaft. He a brother, but he looked Hispanic. He dope to me. But also, when you said Stringer Bell, though, it brought me to Wood Harris, the Chicago boy who played Avon.
Yes,
Wood
sir.
Harris is another one of them cats that I just really enjoy. Like, when I
like
think about
Wood Harris.
actors, like, I like watching Wood Harris.
Yeah. Also in Training Day. I mean, also in Remember the Titans.
Yeah. But to the point of the movie Fences, though, right? In my mind, Fences kind of relates to the conversation we was having today in a lot of ways, you know, about rules and shit. And it was funny, man, when I saw Fences, I think I went with my family. But it was like a topic of conversation, even in the theater the night that we went to see the shit. Like, motherfuckers was hating on the Denzel character in Fences. Like, oh, this ain't shit. All the traumas and all that shit, like, you know, just going in.
That shit was brilliant. That movie was brilliant.
Brilliant, G. It was brilliant.
Shout out to Viola Davis, too, because she's phenomenal.
Yeah, shout out to Viola Davis. But more important for me, shout out to what's the brother who wrote Fences?
Shit.
Great black author.
You put me on the spot, and I feel terrible for not being able to call it out, too.
Yeah, it bothers me, too. I'm finna look this shit up.
Somebody gonna tell us in a minute. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah. But
I will say this though, man. For me,
August Wilson.
There we go. Good stuff. Appreciate you, Ron.
But I think that depicted the traumatic version of black masculinity in America.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in a lot of ways, when I saw that shit, G, it just reminded me of my daddy. Right?
DJ talking about, it was in the backyard though. He's so stupid.
Backyard of Nice, the story was genius.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it reminded me of my father and how the outward world viewed him in one way and how I viewed him in a whole nother way. Right. And a lot of my relationship, and I admire my daddy, know that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of my relationship with my father was very much like Denzel and his son. It was always clashing, right? But unlike Denzel and his son, Denzel died and the son became a man kind of on his own.
Right.
My father with my relationship changed form as I became a man. I started to value all that shit and recognize it as valuable, right? So that part of the lesson didn't get shown in the movie, but that's all I saw was Eric Werner in that motherfucking movie. But then it hit a backlash from the people in our community about how toxic he was and how terrible he was. And maybe it's me, but for me it resonated as the one, we don't understand where we are. We don't understand what it means to be behind enemy lines, nor do we understand what it means to be a man in that paradigm. You know what I mean? Specifically trying your goddamnedest to be a stand-up man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what it's about, right? That's the litmus test of manhood, right? Can you push and persevere through all the bullshit that is coming? Nobody can really prepare you for what the bullshit is. You never really know what it's going to be. It's just about being prepared to withstand it and to push through regardless, man. And so I think, he like that's what he was putting. But he had also seen the world. What?
He said,
"Oh,
that's why I get it. My father's still in the snow." God damn.
His father went to the stove 30 years ago. DJ ain't seen him since. That's hilarious. Listen, he said it's not hilarious. That's real though. For me, Denzel is the person who I believe more than anybody, whoever he is. Like when I saw American Gangster, if I get done watching American Gangster, if Denzel walk in my living room, I'm gonna be like, Frank Lucas just walked in the fucking door. You know what I'm saying? Same thing when he's playing Lonzo. I think he's fucking Lonzo. Or I think he's Coach Boone. Or I think whoever the fuck he is in the movie, I think that's who he is for a long time. I thought he was Malcolm X for a long fucking time. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, Malcolm X. Like that, I mean that in this way. He was the first image that popped up in my mind every time I thought about Malcolm X. When I think about Malcolm X, there was this image of him as Denzel as Malcolm X in the movie. Now it's different for me, where I get a genuine image of Malcolm X in my head. But then that image was Denzel as Malcolm X. Like whoever he is in a movie, I fully believe that's who that nigga is in that time.
Somebody, I just saw this recently, got a Malcolm X tattoo.
Okay.
But it was really Denzel.
I thought you were going to say a Denzel tattoo.
It was a Denzel tattoo, but as Malcolm.
Oh, see, I'm telling you,
they didn't. It might have been a white person. It was one of them like,
it was
look at this goofy motherfucker.
Look at this stupid, yeah.
But maybe the tattoo artist got the photo on some Googling Malcolm X, and it was the Denzel picture came up, but it was legitimately Denzel as Malcolm.
Yeah, or the white person brought it in.
The best thing about it is,
this one on me.
the best thing about it is when he was in the movie, he actually favored Malcolm a little bit.
Did? Oh, he did.
So even in the tattoo, he favors Malcolm, but it was fully Denzel.
But it's Denzel, though.
I was like, boy, that's some funny shit.
Motherfuckers be tweaking, G. Motherfuckers be smooth tweaking, like all the time with these tattoos.
But he don't move me like that if I'm being honest. Though.
He don't.
He don't.
Wow.
He don't.
That is disappointing.
And I'm seeing in the comments, and
we're gonna stop these top fives because between Denzel not moving you, Boys to Men being trash, like you be pissing me off in these top fives, bro.
Boys to Men is trash. You know, so you saw that shit. Look,
oh, that's the tattoo right there.
Pull the shit up.
It's a white guy too. He bogus.
Yeah, it's legitimately Denzel as Malcolm X.
That's hilarious.
You gotta bring that in here. We can put that on the thing. Can you email it to me?
You can Google it. Yeah, email it. Send it to his computer so we can pop it up before we leave about it.
Yeah, in regards to like how, first of all, I'm a weirdo in that sense. Like I like B-level movies and shit. The other shit.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Like I told you, like most of my favorite movies is like Coolie High, Raising Victor Vargas, shit that most people ain't even seen. You know what I'm saying? Kids, shit like that.
Are you hip to these, what do they call it? Like Nollywood films, Nollywood films, these black movies, these kind of like
those
movies.
Bollywood is Indian movies.
Yeah, but it's another one called Nollywood.
I'm not hip.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of black movies. I saw one called, I forgot. I'm sorry I even mentioned it. My bad.
Yeah, I'm not hip to that. But yeah, I'm that kind of dude. So when an actor really like catches me, it's because he done did some different shit. Omar, to see Michael K. Williams, that's the dude who play Omar.
Mm-hmm.
To see him out of character, you be like, man, how the fuck did he play Omar?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if he is a homosexual, but he surely comes off as a homosexual. Like
Omar was a homosexual.
Though he was a homosexual, he's not the same kind of homosexual.
It's levels to this shit.
It's levels to that shit, I guess. Because the nigga he was in Omar was like, this nigga's a gangster. But
they Nigerian movies, these Nollywood films, and there was one about this like bus company. I can't think what the bus company is called. Actually, Juliet had put me on.
Is that the one with Jill Scott in the bus company?
Nah.
Okay, I don't know.
I forgot what it was, but whatever. It was
right.
It was good as hell. Though.
DJ say too like all the Amazon Prime movies. That's true. That's true. That's the shit I be watching. You know.
So Nicole says he's bisexual in real life.
I don't care, but whatever. The Omar motherfucker was raw. Right, the chalky white motherfucker is even raw to Omar than me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The Jeffrey K. Wright motherfucker, it's the same kind of energy. Like when you see these dudes, even the young boy who plays in Snowfall,
mm-hmm.
like you see him as the boy in Snowfall, and then you hear him in real life, you like, this motherfucker's amazing.
No, all of them dudes, all of them people, like so everybody from The Wire, you know, Lionheart. Thanks, Jules. That was the name of the movie I was thinking of.
What's Lionheart?
It's the Nollywood movie I was thinking of. It's called Lionheart, and Lion was the name of the bus company. It's a really good movie. To me, it's funny. Once I got to watch it, I was like, this movie was loosely based off the same script from Lion King. Now it's about this young woman and her father being Mufasa and she being Simba. But you know, that's kind of how I saw that movie kind of play out. But it was a really good movie, as was Lion King. Anyway, fuck, what was I saying? Okay, everybody from The Wire. Right, I love The Wire. Love it. I've seen the entire series more times than I care to admit to y'all. I was watching The Wire this morning. That being said, though, and you got the picture of Malcolm
Zell, Malcolm X,
Malcolm Washington, Denzel X on this man's arm. What an idiot!
Denzel X out this motherfucker.
Yeah, no. Well, let me know when you pull it up so I could pop it on the screen because that is complete foolery. But anyway, let me just say this.
See, that's wild.
Everybody in the Wire, when I see them like outside of it, it'd be like, yo, there's no way that you are this. No way you was this person.
You selling keys.
No, you know what I'm saying?
You had to sell keys.
Like even like Idris Elba, like he's Stringer Bell, fam. So when the first time I heard him talk, I was like, first of all, this dude is fucking English. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's from England. Like, he got this heavy ass British like accent. Like I was like, wait, how did you get rid of? And it's strong too. Like his English accent is like strong as hell. And so for him to get rid of that and be purely on this Baltimore shit, I'm like, this dude is acting genius. Like all of them motherfuckers cold. I met Bubbles in real life, the dude that played the Cluck.
I hung out with him.
And he's cool as hell. Regular ass dumb. Like, but I don't see how you was fucking Bubs though. Like, you know what I mean?
You know Christy with an eye? She's his publicist, so he be around, he be kicking it with us all the time. Okay. So yeah, he is a cool dude, you know, but that's another kind of guy too, though, right?
Like it just
that's a skill set.
That's definitely a skill set, man. Let me show these people this monstrosity. What an idiot. Do you see this for? And this is a dude who's tatted from his head to his toe. You can see his leg is tatted up. You know what I'm saying? This dude has hours and hours and hours and hours of tattoo work.
It's a beautiful tattoo, though.
Yeah, if you are trying to get Denzel as Malcolm X on your arm.
It's a beautiful tattoo.
That's what you get for fronting. White man that want to put Malcolm X on your forearm big as shit, you're capping, sir. You don't even know what he looks like. You think that he's the nigga from the movie. He's not the nigga from the movie, fam.
Yeah,
you're tweaking, sir.
Crazy, bro.
You are out of your mind, sir. What is wrong with you, sir? That is Denzel Washington, sir. That is not Malcolm X, sir. You are a imbecile.
I mean, you know.
It's
the average white man, the average white person wouldn't know. They think that's Malcolm.
Of course. He thinks it's Malcolm.
Unless he purposely knows that that's the character from the movie.
Nope.
I would hope.
I would say
I
that
just can't see you get the big ass
right
Denzel X tattoo on you.
I would say he Googled Malcolm X images, found one that he thought would look good as a tattoo thing, and picked that one. And they took it to the tattoo artist and said, I want this on my arm.
Yeah, he went to the tattoo artist and put this portrait of Malcolm X on my arm.
And the tattoo artist,
he didn't say put this portrait of Denzel X on my arm.
And, right, and put it down there, and he just did it. And neither one of them probably were any more the wiser that is Denzel Washington. That is not Malcolm X. That is hilarious. What do the comments say? Reminds me of the pic I saw last week of a white guy with a sleeve tattoo of Denzel Washington playing Malcolm X.
Yeah.
That's
different, G. That's different. But the work is brilliant. I wonder who did the tattoo.
Listen, the artwork is phenomenal. Yeah, I be all on people tattoos. I love tattoos. And I just be paying. I don't really give a shit what it is. I'm looking at the work in it, the craftsmanship of it. So I be loving to see people. Tattoos is my shit.
All this is tributes to Spike Lee. We getting called stupid in the comments. Well,
what happened?
So I guess he was planning on getting this. He did. It's a tribute to Spike Lee. He's a Spike Lee stan. All the rest of the tattoos are Spike Lee movies as well.
Prove it.
Yeah, we got to find out.
It sounds like an excuse to me.
It's in the comments though.
Yeah, that's fine. Show me the rest of his tattoos then.
It's a really well done.
Show me his Coach Boone tattoo. Like, show me his Frank Lucas tattoo.
Yeah, either way, it's a fucking stupid tattoo. Even if you're a fan, a fan of Spike Lee, you got to go get some different shit.
That's dumb as hell, fam. Like, I'm not.
You got to go get some.
I'm
different
not with
shit.
it. That shit is crazy.
Yeah, that's a dumbass tattoo. I don't give a fuck if you love Spike or not. That's dumb as fuck.
Yeah, no, I love tattoos, man. Y'all asked me my type yesterday. She definitely got tattoos, whoever she is. Like the tattoos. I need it. It's something about it.
I don't like that.
You don't like tattoos?
Not like that.
You give me
Not
a
to
woman
be with-
that is nicely tatted, and I don't want a bunch of. Don't come with like tattoos in your face and all, or no kind of stupid shit. Like I don't want your fucking name on your titty. Like that's weird as hell, shorty. Like you tweaking. But nice place tattoos that are well done. I am here for it.
That's great. Yeah. Don't move me that way.
What's well placed?
Don't shit move you,
what
dude.
If they
We
got
know
like
that.
neck tattoos and shit? You down with that?
If it's well placed, if it's well done, if it's tasteful, I'm cool with it.
Yeah,
I like the
great.
she can be covered from neck to toe if she wants to.
No face at all. If it's well placed.
Where's a well placed face tat? I only know one person that has. I know two people that I've ever seen that I didn't hate their face tat.
What if she had like a heart where the tear should be?
I didn't hate Nipsey's face tat. The one, what the fuck do it say? God Will Rise or whatever. And then I don't hate Dirk's, whatever the fuck Dirk got right here. What is it? You know what it is?
I think he got OTF right there, don't he?
No, it's something else. Well, whatever he got right here,
I
don't hate that. But other than that, that face tat shit, that shit is for the birds.
That's right.
But yeah, the rest of it.
I ain't saying it ain't no knock to women with tattoos. I'm just, it don't move me one way.
No, I'm saying it moves me. I'm saying if I didn't like, if I was like, oh, who the fuck her?
Yeah, I got different weird shit. Like the back of a woman's neck, so for some reason that moves me. Thighs move me. Natural shit moves me. I like natural hair too. That shit moves me.
Yeah, send me those pics. ROW. I'm definitely down to see your BFF all gorgeous and tatted. Send me those.
Hot boy Herb, boy.
I'm not shooting. I just want to see the.
Slide that down this way.
Unless she got $40, then
it's all good.
Then it's cracking.
It's cracking out this motherfucker. I'm going for the 40.
Then it's going down. Tats, piercings, not for me. Paul Jackson says, I am here for the tats and I am here for the piercings. Okay, I'm here for all of that shit. Tats and piercings, sign me up. Also, sheer shirts, sheer anything. If I can see through it a little bit, sign me up for that shit.
I enjoy mystery.
Yeah, that's cool. So you take the turtleneck. I'll take I'll take the turtleneck too, but can it be like a turtleneck with like a sheer this area? Like, or even like them fucking stretch pants that got like this sheer just down the side.
I just like well put together, G. That's
me too.
You know what I mean?
Me too.
And that could come in many different forms.
Absolutely.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm saying she could be dressed head to toe in a business suit and turtleneck all day long. And she come out of that joint and she's crazy tatted up. Ugh. Ugh. Love it. Love it. That's just me.
No, I ain't wrong with it.
Anyway.
Natural though. That's
she got
all
the
I'm
piercings
saying.
too? Yeah, send me the pictures of the piercings then.
Saying, man, the universe did women right, G. The very essence of that being is supposed to turn us on, and it does. So all that additive shit, I ain't knocking it, but it ain't like special.
Oh no, I'm
your natural essence is special.
No, that now I'm with you on that piece. On the natural. Like I'm all about the natural look. Like I'm not for the 17 feet of weave and 17 pounds of makeup and these fucking lashes out to here that you can change the wind pattern if you blink too fast.
On the headlight of a car. You remember the eyelashes?
Yes.
That's what your goof ass look like.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
And the surgical asses. You look dumb as fuck. The surgical anything.
Also,
you look
I don't like
dumb as fuck.
Also, I don't like it.
Yeah,
so I do not like it. Yeah, I'm here for all the natural shit. But the tattoos, run it.
Like I said,
shout out to all the girls who got different. Shout out to all the girls who got nipples piercings and just wear like little white t-shirts outside. Shout out to those people. They're amazing. What you say, Ron?
Run it.
Yeah, shout out to those people, man. We gotta get up out of here, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We greatly appreciate you all rocking with us. Wrapped up the first week back, man. We was gone for about 18 days, man. Wrapped up the first week back.
On COVID vacation.
Came through kicking it with us, and we appreciate that. Look forward to being back in here with y'all on Monday. This evening, Chris the Critic, man. Hang out with Chris the Critic. That is at 8 o'clock. I'm sure he'll be, triggering some folks and pissing some folks off with some of the shit he got to say.
She show today?
Magda Desir, her new show is going to be premiering next Friday. It is Magda Desir, the host of the show we had, Go Ladies. She's gonna stay in her same time slot, and the show is going to be called Loaded and Uncovered with Mags. And so we're gonna do that, huh?
What?
Her too? Hey, you make me laugh all the
You
fucking
make
time.
me laugh all the time.
You are absolutely hilarious, my G. Uncle Grumpus and Hot Boy Herb. That's probably legit, Adrian. That's probably this fucking guy. Listen, man, we got to bounce. Anyway, thank y'all so much.
Before we go, though, tomorrow, anti-carjacking initiative specifically for the brothers.
Yeah.
52nd and Lake Park at 11 a.m.
Yep.
At whatever the kind of gas
It's
station.
that gas station. I want to say it's a BP right there, but it's only one gas station. You should see
next
a whole
between
bunch
McDonald's
of
and Whole Foods. You'll
yeah.
find it.
Yeah, we'll be out there, man. So y'all want to come out and partake in that, come on out. We will see y'all. We'll be back here same time, same place next week, Monday at 3 p.m. Until then, man, y'all be good to each other. For Toussaint Warner and for Ron Rilla doing all the hard work behind the glass. Special thanks to Juliet Scott. My name is Herb Howard. Y'all be good to each other. Peace.
Assalamu alaikum.
WIFTV